Dave, do I even dare? Do I even want to go to you at this particular
moment?
All
right. What's up? Good morning, everybody.
Figured.
We're just
late getting started here. Some technical difficulties.
It'll rain for a minute, and it'll stop for 2 or 3, and it'll rain for a minute, and it'll
Technical
stop
difficulties,
for 2 or 3.
but we got her going.
It's almost stopped at this point.
Rain already being a problem.
I'm not sure they're going to turn him loose quite yet either.
Good morning,
well,
everybody.
The pace car is in turn number 4.
Firekeeper Casino 400 NASCAR Cup Series Racing here on Valhalla Sports Talk.
Getting right now from NASCAR Race Control.
Good morning, everybody.
The field will be brought down the pit lane behind the pace car right now, and this is not, unfortunately, another lap through there to check the tachometer.
Under a warm-up
This is for more
condition.
moisture that is falling here at the racetrack.
So the teams will get the covers ready, and we'll give you the absolute.
They got on, and they're going to bring the cars down pit road.
That one cell. It is small. It is moving directly north, and it will come across this racetrack. We are just on the beginning side of that cell, but it shouldn't take long. Stay with us. Behind it, it looks good. Behind it, obviously, it can change. But at the moment, we're in a weather delay here at the Michigan International Speedway.
MRN goes to commercial. Let's go ahead and put some audio on here. And say hello to those in the chat. Hiking Combat, Theo in the house. Kenneth in the house. Dave Rhodes, the Rhodes family, Butterfly. I can't believe they came on just to go to caution. That's crazy. Yeah, I slept about 4 hours. I got about 4. Doing all right. All right, cars on pit road. They're trying to figure out if they're going to put covers on them or not. $17 in the chat, y'all. We missed the start your engines. We missed all that. I was ready to go on, and I was ready on time, y'all. But my computer said, hey, man, you need to restart or your audio is not going to work. Shit. 2 hours of sleep. What's up, Kenneth Burton? So this might give me a chance to get something to eat real fast. Maybe a drink. You going to take a test? Raffian says it's going to be interesting to see how many cars we'll see in the draft today. I don't know. It looks pretty gray there to me, y'all. Pretty gray. Voted Beb. So there's no misunderstanding. I voted for JJ to enter the Hall of Fame. Okay. Claiming it's a small rain cell.
Daytona International.
It was quiet, Kerm. It was quiet. Man, what a game, though. What a game. What a bummer. What a bummer. What a failed experiment that was. But wow, they got it to penalty kicks. We missed our kicks. We missed our kicks. And it's over. And so we're on a tight schedule today, too, with Dodgers starting at 4. So if they delay this too much, that's going to put us in conflicting with that stream as well. Did I see that Carlson went to the Pens? No, I did not, Dominic. No, I don't do coffee, Jay. I'm going to find something, though. Might have me some OJ or something.
As we start, and now we sit and wait for this thing to finally take place. We're hoping.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a guessing game and a waiting game, trying to see if we're going to get this race started. The radar looks decent, but these little cells to the
side. Yeah, tough 2 streams in a row, Jay Ramirez. Tough couple streams in a row.
Once we get going, we'll have enough time to get this race in, and hopefully we can run all the laps.
We had a number of parade laps there. The fuel window is just outside of the end.
We've
of the
already
first
got
stage.
drivers
What
strapping
level
back
of
in,
concern
putting on
do
their
you have
Hans
as far as making it
devices.
to the end of the first stage now on fuel?
Then some are taking their shit
I think
off,
that
so
this
I don't know.
pushes us to probably having to stop at the comp caution. Maybe some cars mid-pack that aren't as in the gas as us leaders are going to be.
Harvick's still
We'll have the
strapped in,
option,
helmet
but
on.
we don't know how many more pace laps we're going to run. So, we're 7, 8, 9 pace laps in right now. It'll probably be 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, I remember IROC races.
Dampness at all here, so I think that should probably push everybody to taking fuel.
Finally, we've been talking all weekend here on MRN about the driver and what he has to do with the race car. As a crew chief, when you're building
Harvick
a
taking
car,
off his
and I know
gloves
specs are
and
pretty
about to
tight on these
pull down
cars,
the window
what are
net.
some of the things you look at for this high-speed Michigan International Speedway?
Well, this is a place where you have to consider drag in addition to downforce. Most of these tracks.
All right, they're bringing the covers out, y'all.
You can find.
They're bringing out the covers. Many drivers getting out of the vehicle.
That you can, but here you got to consider both, and the motor's got to run right, and the pit stops have to be good. And
all right, so we're officially in a delay.
Really test every facet of your program here.
Finally, you mentioned pit stops. The importance of qualifying yesterday. We're sitting here on a pit box and pit.
You wanted more 2 a.m.
How
streams?
was that as far as the effort goes today as well?
Well, it depends.
So I was looking forward to that Friday one. I was looking forward to it.
Much difference. If their caution flag stops, it makes a big difference. The camera that sets the order coming off.
I think they're going to try to get this going.
Or 20 feet away from our
But
box,
listen,
so
y'all, this is what I'm going to do.
Without having to get all the way up to speed, and that saves a lot of time.
We wish you the
I'm going to
best.
cut the MRN feed for now. Put on the music.
Pole position here yesterday at Michigan
We'll be in a
International
rain
Speedway,
delay.
a whopping 193.382 miles per hour, and a lot going on as far as planning for this race and making this race happen. But right now, just the waiting game down here on their pit box.
And that's part of it nobody likes is there is a pretty good sprinkle falling here on the front side of the racetrack. Jason Toy's also cut up with the crew chief.
Yeah, Randall Burnett, the crew chief for Kyle Busch. Car 8 starts off 8th when we get ready to roll here today. And all right, let's talk about strategy-wise here. Now, obviously, we're going to have a competition caution when we get going at lap 20. So what about fuel strategy here for you guys? How do you approach this race today?
Yeah, it's one of those deals where you want to spend as little time on pit road as you can all day long. So, there'll be some guys that stay out at the competition caution. Probably there'll be some guys that come in and do right sides, possibly fuel only, or possibly lefts. We saw a lot of that last year. The fall off isn't that bad, at least to what we saw in practice. The tire fall off wasn't bad, so it leaves a lot of options as to what you're going to do strategy wise, and it's going to depend on how many caution laps we ride around before we get the green too. That kind of factors into it as to even if you can make it to the end of the first stage. Run a bunch of more caution laps before we take the green here now with the rain. So
you don't like the flavored Busch beers?
Depend, and it's going to be ever moving all day long, ever moving target. So
I'll say mentally and emotionally.
All right, y'all.
For
I'm gonna go off camera.
Having to get in and out of the race car, but
We're under rain delay. I'm not sure why this lettering looks so
What's
horrid.
that kind of do to? And you're the coach. You got to keep these guys up.
Yeah. I got to keep myself up. I'm ready to go, and then I'm bummed that we're not going. So, you just got to kind of keep everybody together. It turns into these days turn into long days, and it leads to potential mistakes if you don't keep everybody focused. So, you just got to keep everybody on the same page. It gets tiring to hurry up in the weights, and you get ready to go and then stop and just.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab something to grub on,
on edge
drink.
sometimes because they're
Way
all
back
ready
in
to
the
go
queue.
and pumped up and jazzed up.
right, Chad, I am back. Mike's side.
Things are going very well for A.J. Allmendinger.
And he's worked for it. He's worked very, very hard to get to where he's at right now. And he's at the top of his game as well. And he's happy to be at Michigan. But I'll tell you right now, A.J. is looking forward to next week at Indy and looking forward to 2 weeks down the road when he can showcase his road racing expertise at both Indy and Watkins Glen. I think Bubba Wallace loves Michigan. Let's find out. Bubba Wallace is with Jason Toy.
Well, he's sitting up here trying to stay dry, talking things over with Booty Barker, his crew chief, up on top of the wagon, and the guys upstairs saying, well, we know Bubba Wallace really likes Michigan. I know you don't like it when it rains in Michigan, but
why they did
what
that,
is it about this place that you do like?
You just show up and have fast race cars. You know, that makes it easy to like any racetrack, right? You know, I wasn't a really big fan of Richmond. And then we turned the ship around and we led some laps there.
So that we sit here and watch the commercials.
The equipment that you have, make these racetracks a lot easier and more fun. But yeah, unfortunately, Mother Nature's winning right now, so we're just waiting on her.
You control what you can control. We can't control Mother Nature. But one thing I've been curious on, you got an owner in Michael Jordan. Good shoe line. He has that little shoe line deal. What's your shoe game like now? Did you have to build a whole new room for it?
No, so I got the best of both worlds, right? I got Columbia as my sponsor, and just so happen to have MJ as the boss. So just whenever I need something, I just send a text both ways, and we're good.
And one thing I've gotten to know you over the years that I know you like to kind of get away from the racing side of things. You love to hit the skins, play the drums. Have you been able to do that lately here? Oh, come on.
No, I haven't. We've been so busy this year. Been playing a lot of golf, so it's like play the drums or take Benny's money on the golf course, right? So it's a kind of a trade-off. I don't get paid playing drums, so I need to get back on it, though. Good stress reliever.
There you go. All right, good luck today when we get rolling. Bubba Wallace sitting up here and enjoying a little bit of time before we get ready to go racing. We can look back over towards turn one, and we see that we see a bright thing kind of eclipsing there out of the clouds.
Yeah, that's the sunshine beating down in turns 1 and 2. It's almost like daybreak, early morning here in the Irish Hills of Michigan, and the sun now is that sold-out infield down there in turn 1 and 2. They're getting some sun down there. I'm hoping those folks have recovered from last night's party in the infield. That Cabo Wabo tequila they've had down there, pickling themselves all night long, getting set for a good race here coming up today. The sun is out here at Michigan, but let's hope that the radar continues to cooperate. We heard Adam Stevens a moment ago talk about how the radar looks really good behind that one little cell. He ain't lying, as they say back in eastern North Carolina. It looks great. Here's the sunshine on the front stretch at Michigan right now. So we do need to get the racetrack dry yet again. So let's go back to pit lane and Steve Post.
Michael McDowell was underneath the pit tarp there talking to his guys. Loves travel stop on the car. You walked out and we saw something big, bright and yellow in the sky. So, man, sunshine looks like it's coming out here today.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I need my Wiley X sunglasses. But, you know, it's always tough when you have conditions like this because you got to stay in the game no matter what. But, yeah, it looks like, you know, the sun's going to come out and dry out. I thought we were going to get it started there. It wasn't raining too bad. But then it started to come down. And, you know, obviously with speed 0, you don't want to go out there and risk it. But hopefully we can dry out the track here quickly and get
Kathleen.
rolling. I think we got enough time, you know, to get it all in. So, but can't control the weather. You just got to adapt with the day and be ready to go.
Michael, you're a Daytona 500 champion, so you've enjoyed success in this sport. But this year, running here in on points right now, racing, we've got a lot of racing to do. You've been the one telling us you got a lot of racing to do. What this year though been like as you've seen this Front Row Motorsports build into a championship contending team?
Oh, it's been awesome. You know, it's been a progress for the last 5-6 years of slowly getting better and better and better, and continuing to, you know, have performance that goes along with it. It's been a lot of fun. We're close, right? We're right in that dogfight of where we need to be. There is a lot of racing left. There's still a lot that can happen, but we're in a good spot. We're going to fight hard. I mean, that's one thing our team does really well is we're grinders, and, you know, good days, bad days, we fight hard. keep putting ourselves in good position. So we just got to keep that mentality for the next 4 weeks and see how we stack up.
You talk about the next 4 weeks. We know 2 road courses in Daytona, so we know we're good. Your mentality, your mindset, your grinding, what do you wish to come out of here with? I know a win, of course, but what would make this a good day when you leave Michigan here today?
Yeah, if we could leave Michigan plus 15 to plus 20, that would be great. We know we can get a lot of points, these next couple weeks at road courses with stages and how it all plays out. But the guys that we're racing can as well. And you look at A.J. Allmendinger, you look at Daniel Suarez, you look at Ty Gibbs. Those are guys that are going to score stage points and run good at road courses as well. Bubba's done what he needs to do to, take those tracks that he's been really fast at and gain points. And so we got a little making up to do on him on those road courses, but I think we can do it. The biggest thing is just we got to run our race. We got to execute. As of right now, we just need to score all the points we can and see where it stacks up.
Well, we wish you well here, Michael.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Michael McDowell, driver of the Loves Travel Stop Ford. He held court with reporters yesterday, Jeff and Alex, and the question about what are you doing in the future, because he has been talked about in some of the silly season rumors, and he's got a rights with Bob Jenkins with Front Row Motorsports, and Bob owns that, and Michael hopes he's going to get the call and confirmation he's going forward. The one thing he said, though, that I just really struck out with me is this is the first year at this point in the season he's not worried, no matter where he ends up, that he's going to end up in the Cup Series next year. That's a pretty good spot. Michael McDowell and this team have done a really, really solid job this year.
38-year-old driver out of Glendale, Arizona, and another one that has earned the right to be in the situation that he's in. Good news, everybody. Rain has moved out. The skies are clearing. Track is drying. We'll give you an update when we come back.
Will they find
Where you're being accused, General Thor. Someone's saying you ate their homework, Thornelius.
One point to the good.
If you are driving down the road and you just tuned us in, you haven't missed a thing. We have been in a weather hold since we basically were ready to put the cars under the green flag. The weather, though, has moved out of the area, at least for now. There is no rain. Track drying is underway. It shouldn't take long because there was heat in the racetrack, and quite honestly, we didn't get that much rain, just enough to to lose the track the way we always refer to it as. You couldn't race at this particular moment. The drivers have gotten out of their cars. Cars are covered up, but I'm very optimistic. I'm not going to give you a number, Alex, as far as minutes are concerned, but, within the not too distant future, we should be ready to go.
100% agree. Absolutely. The radar looks great right now, so we just need some patience, and we need a little help now, maybe the wind to pick up and help dry this track off, and we can get this race under the green flag at Michigan in the Firekeepers Casino 400. After this, we're off to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The sport is for the Verizon 200. Then it's to Watkins Glen International. Let's welcome to the broadcast Chief Track Properties Officer Chip Weil. And Chip, Watkins Glen, it's about time to go bowling at the Glen.
I can't believe it's already time to go back. It's one of our favorite stops on the NASCAR schedule. Always exciting racing, and those race fans, wow, they're amazing. Announced this week that infield camping is completely sold out. We have limited tickets left for Go Bowling at the Glen. They start at $85. Great way to celebrate the end of summer up in upstate New York, one of the most beautiful places to be in the summertime. So we're excited about that, and then roll on to Daytona.
What do you put your finger on when I say what is the magic about the Glen? Because there are so many things we could point out, whether it be the on-track product. The racing there is great. The obvious camping, it's one of the most beautiful facilities we go to. And then you've got entertainment. There's just so much going on there. Can you actually put a finger on it's this or is it that or is it just everything?
Man, Striegel's become a good promoter over here.
Right?
He's already nailed it. It's all of those things. Certainly the on-track product has been world-class over the years, one of the most iconic racetracks that we have on the circuit. The race fans come out, and they come out early, and they come out often, and it's to see them set up their little campgrounds, and it is truly a community. You go year after year, and you go see the same people. Maybe you don't see them for 363 days, and then you show up, and it's like you haven't missed a beat. We have a ton of entertainment, infield concerts. The Midway will be jamming all weekend. There's always something in store to NASCAR race, but I feel like over the last 2 or 3 years, really taken a renewed focus on that fan experience, making sure that when people do come to the racetrack, we're over-delivering on that experience for them, because it's not just about coming to a race, it's about coming to an event. And, to be able to do that up in upstate New York, it's going to be really a great time. So looking forward to getting back. Kyle Larson's even go 3 in a row, or maybe there'll be an upset. Maybe, like you talked about earlier on the broadcast, A.J. Allmendinger, always one of the guys you got to watch when you show up at these road courses, and he's pretty good up there.
You mentioned camping at Watkins Glen International, sold out, but there are grandstands in and around. So if you've never been to a road course race fans, Watkins Glen is a must. You got to go there. So there are grandstands, but the beauty of it is you can wander the property.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful piece of property, and there's a lot to do and see while you're there. So you can, a lot of GA areas. You can go see cars coming in and out of the turns. Obviously, that main grandstand, great place to set up and watch some of the greatest finishes in NASCAR. So lots to do and see, places to go. Looking forward to getting up there.
All right, so let's remind everybody a minute, Alex, about Chip. Who is Chip? Where did he come from? Well, he used to be the president of Darlington Raceway. He became the president of Daytona International Speedway before taking on this role, and now you work with track presidents all across the country. You have a brand new one here with Joe Fowler. He and his wife Ashley have taken over in the last couple of years, and they're doing amazing things. At Richmond, the reason I bring this up, because at Richmond we had a chance to talk to the old and the new, or the veteran. I know Clay is going to kill me for saying it that way.
He just texted. He wants you to call him.
No, you know where I'm going with that. Those that have been here for a long time, the veterans that have been around NASCAR, now blending with new ideas, new blood. You have it at Richmond. You have it here. How has it been working with all of the different track promoters and all of those new ideas?
Oh, it's incredible. And think about folks like Latasha Causey. She knew nothing about NASCAR 2 years ago, and now she's done incredible things out at Phoenix Raceway. It's really good to get those new ideas, but certainly need folks like Clay Campbell, who literally were born into this sport and born into running racetracks, to make sure that we're staying on path. And Clay was my boss when I was at Darlington Raceway and been my mentor for 15 years. And he is an incredible resource, but he's also willing to be nimble. And I think, we can't continue to do things the same way over and over again. You got to continue to evolve, and we're certainly doing that. Folks like Julie Giese, certainly Lori Warren, Joe Fowler. We have an incredible group of track presidents now that truly are all pulling the rope in the same direction. And I think you're seeing it with fans coming back to the racetrack and the new offerings and opportunities that they have while they're here. And that comes from a number of different people, and then we all just have to believe in this is the new direction. And certainly Steve Phelps and Steve O'Donnell and everybody at NASCAR have done a tremendous job really coming out of COVID and kind of a renewed spirit around NASCAR. So I am very, very, very proud of our team and the things they continue to do across the entire country. Every time they show up on these racetracks, it looks great. The experiences are great, and the racing is better than I think it's ever been.
We wouldn't have a need for track presidents. We wouldn't have a need for Motor Racing Network if it wasn't for race fans and getting race fans to come out and have a great time watching NASCAR racing. So how do people get tickets to come to the Go Bowling at the Glen weekend for NASCAR Cup Series racing?
Easiest way, theglen.com. Get your tickets today. Make sure that you're there in a couple weeks to watch the NASCAR stars. Listen, that's a big opportunity for any of these drivers to be able to get to punch their ticket into the playoffs. So a lot can happen. And then we roll into Daytona. We saw it last year with Austin Dillon, one last shot. And as we were looking at the schedule, Daytona just makes sense to be the last race of the regular season because it is truly the great equalizer. And you got to have everything go your way. You got to have a heck of a lot of luck. But all 40 or 36 drivers are certainly going to have a chance to win the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
And tickets are available for the Coke Zero Sugar 400 weekend at Daytona?
Absolutely. That's the great thing about Daytona. It's big, but we certainly are trending well ahead of where we've been the last couple of years. Frank Kelleher, that entire team are doing tremendous work. And so if you want to get down to Daytona, it's going to be great weather, hopefully, and we'll put on a great show for the race fans.
Chip, you're a man of the people. We've watched you. We have a up here in the broadcast area and race control. I think I've seen you in just about every booth up and down here. What is your day like on a day like today? What are your responsibilities?
Well, the weather certainly put us all in a bit of a bind today, just having to deal with being flexible and trying to get the race in. We certainly look on race morning, what is the weather going to do? We work with folks like you and our TV broadcast partners to make sure that we can get the race in. So that's obviously the goal. But I do spend a lot of time talking to our race fans. That's where we learn the most, and that's where we are able to continue to be better. You want to hear their feedback, and sometimes it's hard to hear because we put our blood, sweat, and tears into these things, but the only way we're going to get better is to listen to our customers. So I spend a lot of time with them, and then, we're kind of running around talking to partners, certainly up here in Race Control, get to visit with you guys almost every week, but I'm just so proud to be a part of this company. Jim France, Lisa France Kennedy, everybody that works at NASCAR truly is focused on putting a great race product on, but also providing an incredible experience for our fans when they come to the track every week. And I feel like we're better than we've been in a really long time, but we still got a lot of work left in front of us.
I think most everybody would agree with that too, Chip. And when you mentioned that you're out there listening to what people have to say, whether it be the race teams or even more importantly, the fans, you and I get a chance to talk about it all the time, Alex, and that is the ever-moving, ever-evolving new NASCAR. We just went to Chicago, home run. There's so many things that are coming up. Obviously, going back and taking the All-Star race back to North Wilkesboro. Again, a home run. We're hearing, and you and I are using the word sold out far more frequently of late than what we did maybe a decade ago. You look out here at the campground, sold out. Watkins Glen is going to be packed to the rafters. Phoenix, obviously, is I think that was announced as a sellout already. You have to love the direction that NASCAR is going, and even with that direction is constantly moving as you guys look at new opportunities.
No question. You think about what Ben Kennedy's brought to the table, very progressive thinker, Chicago, the Coliseum. Those were big risk items that definitely paid off for us. 82% of the fans that came to Chicago have never been to a NASCAR race. If we can do that every week, this sport's going to be continue to grow, and I think that's important. But we also got to pay homage to our roots. I'm a big fan of the history of our sport, certainly with the throwback at Darlington, and to be able to go to back North Wilkesboro go and see the excitement from those race fans. It was incredible. I had a chance just to fly it for the day with Mr. France, and to be able to watch all of those folks show up. And quite frankly, you're like worried. We worry about things like, oh, the seats are too small. Those people didn't care. They didn't sit down the whole time. They're standing up because it was such exciting racing. So lots of great things ahead of us. We continue to look at the schedule and how can we optimize it. But really proud of what the continued work here in Michigan. This is the largest crowd we've had in Michigan since 2015. That's almost 10 years. And Joe Fowler and his wife, they live on property. Every night they're out trying to make sure that everything is perfect. And, I mean, they're doing a lot of the work themselves. I see him out painting walls, and, that's my kind of guy, because at Darlington we had 4 people. So I spent a lot of time painting walls. But that just shows the commitment that we have to these facilities and to the race fans and to the race teams. It's important, and we got the right group in place to do that.
Agreed. Yourself included, right person for the job. Thank you, Chip, for taking some time to come by and visit with us.
You guys are great. And congratulations to you. I know you had a big Thursday night. We're all paying attention to the things that you're doing. You're doing really great things over there in Berlin.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Chip. Thank you very much. Good to see you, as always.
Chip Weil, Chief Track Properties Officer with NASCAR. And, Jeff, the best news of all, this racetrack, I would say, is 3/4 dry right now as the sun continues to peek through the clouds. The radar looks fantastic. We hope to go racing soon.
Hey, racing fans. William Byron here.
shows up at the wedding. How special did everything come together?
Yeah, it was a good day. We, had a lot of planning, obviously, that goes into that. And just to, have everything go smooth meant a lot. Good weather, great weather. And, it was a great day. Just a lot of friends and family and a lot of people known for a long time showed up. A lot of people from a long ways away showed up. So it was really cool just to see everybody kind of come together and be there for our day. So had a lot of fun, and it's been just a fun week in general and busy, but ready to get going today. I wish we could have just got rolling there. I was ready to do it, but hopefully we get cleared up here and get rolling.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit more about this. You didn't mess up the valves, I take it. You did a pretty good job on that. But you married Holly, who's a former race car driver too, so she knows this life. Usually a lot of times you get married after the season. Why'd you guys pick now?
It's a good question. When we got engaged, I talked with Holly about it. I said, I think it'd be cool to get married in Michigan. And she said, yeah, I like that idea. And she said, but I don't want a winter wedding. And I said, well, that's fine. But, I think there's kind of 1 week then we're going to have to choose from. And so obviously that Michigan week, we started kind of just thinking about it and trying to plan out what day would work to, give people time to get home from the week before and get back up here and, have time to get stuff done in Charlotte. So that was kind of the day we came up with, and went to the venue we liked and said, we'd like to book a wedding for next year. And they said, well, we're really sorry, we're sold out every week next year. I said, well, how about on a Wednesday? And they said, that's not a problem at all. And so, we were able to get a venue pretty quick with that. A lot of open days on Wednesday, but, it was fun. I think everybody was shocked how much fun they had on a Wednesday, but it was pretty cool.
We'll talk about the race here in just a moment, but, usually you go on the honeymoon afterwards. You're going to go racing here. You're going to go back to Berlin and race on Wednesday. It's quite the honeymoon. You married a race car driver, so.
Yeah, she's been really good about it, and she's always just been, like you said, a racer herself, and so kind of just what we do. And she's got some racing of her own coming up, actually through later this month, and back in a dirt midget. So I'm excited to see her get back in. When we got together, she really was just kind of getting done with what she had done in the dirt world, so I never really saw her race much, and excited to see her get back in. But yeah, we're gonna plan for after the season, take a trip, so got to wait a couple months on that one.
All right, one thing we do have to talk about when we come back to your home state of Michigan is your foundation, the Eric Jones Foundation. You do a lot with literacy. I know you do a lot in honor of your dad with melanoma, but what's latest going on there, and what type of things you got coming up?
Yeah, we obviously Michigan is kind of home base for the foundation as well, and so we actually have an event coming up in September up here. We do one event in Charlotte and one event up here, and that's coming up next month. So that's a lot of the planning right now, but a great fundraiser. It was our first one last year we ever did, and so I'm looking forward to that. We've done a couple of the book vending machine donations recently, did one in Atlanta about a month and a half ago, and so yeah, just looking to keep expanding it. It's been almost 2 years now the foundation's been around, which is kind of hard to believe, but just had a lot of fun with it, watching it grow and watching the opportunities that come about from it to give more and more back, and especially the stuff locally has been fun up here in Michigan and the Flint area, and trying to give back around here has been probably the coolest thing for me. So just excited to see where it gets to go, and hoping to give more and more.
I know you and I have talked a lot about it before because we both lost our dads to the similar disease, but I know you do a lot of that to honor your dad, which is really special. I know it kind of keeps that spirit alive.
It does, and we cancer and the early detection and prevention, and with melanoma specifically, was something I worked with well before I had a foundation. I would say around probably 2016, around when we lost him, was when I started getting initiated with some causes. Melanoma Research Foundation has been huge for us, and we have a great relationship with them now and what we do to raise money for them. So it's been just neat to kind of learn about the different groups that support those causes, and working with them now on a kind of a bigger level with our own foundation and what we can do, through racing with that. So it has been a great honor to be able to kind of give back to him in a way and represent him through the foundation. And I think he'd be pretty proud of what we've done with it. And And the causes we supported along the way have been pretty neat.
I know he's pretty proud with you on Wednesday night, too. So, all right, a little quick, talk about the race. Once we get going, you got the radars here. It looks like it's starting to move out. What do you think when we get rolling?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to be okay here to get going. It's going to be a little late, but I think the track's going to have a lot of grip. Obviously, there's probably no rubber really left on it. The resin's going to be a little slick to start. So, going to be just trying to get to that competition caution and see what we got for balance. And, I think the track's just going to change a lot through that first run and through that first probably 40 or 50 laps. So it'll be interesting to see where the track goes and how it's changing and see how much grip it has right here, too. So, I don't know. Michigan, it's just always a challenging place in a lot of different ways, but it seems to change a lot, and especially with having the rubber wash off like this.
Eric Jones, congratulations on this week. See if you can bet it with a win today.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Eric Jones sitting down here taking it in, looking again, guys, back towards turn number 1. I think Eric and I see a little bit of blue skies that way, something we'd like to see here at Michigan.
No doubt about it, Jason. Thank you. Yes, there are some blue skies behind us. Now, if you were to look out our window, you'd say, good grief. There's no way you're going to race. I mean, it is dark, low-hanging clouds. However, the track is all but dry. There is some work being done in turns 3 and 4. There is a little bit of button-up on the back straightaway. Doesn't look good outside the window, but the track looks good. The radar looks good. Stay with us. We're going to race at some point here in the very near future.
Don't miss your chance to race for $1 million. Introducing the NASCAR Power.
in front of us on the front straightaway, I would say that is 100% buttoned up, and we could go green, but touch-up still needs to be done.
Yeah, very, very little work over in turns 3 and 4, and we'll be ready to go. Hence the reason NASCAR said, yeah, drivers, go ahead and climb back aboard your race cars. That tells you we're just a few minutes away from perhaps getting these cars back on the racetrack. The whole front side, turns 1, 2, and down the back stretch, dried up. All the focus right now over in the banking of turn number 3 and part of turn number 4, but the track is mostly dry over there.
When we came on the air, you talked about racing the radar, and we talked about how a crew chief might break the race down a little bit differently, trying to, have track position. As we get near lap 100, that would have made the race official. I'll remind everybody that as we look at the radar right now, and yes, of course, it's subject to change. That's just the atmosphere that we have here in Brooklyn, Michigan, or just outside of it. I think we're going to go the distance at this particular point. And again, I think, it could certainly change at any given moment. But now I think we're back to looking at breaking this race into 40-lap runs, give or take, right? Because the fuel mileage will be just over that. So how do you break it down? How do you look at it now?
I think you're right about that. And I think it's safe to say, the full distance is the goal right now. No question. We are on the western side of the eastern time zone, if that makes sense. So the daylight hours here, heck, it can be 9:15, 9:20 at night, and it's still daylight out here. That's a fact. But we have plenty of daylight. Not a worry there. I think this race does get broken down now. You got to start looking at this based off of the radar as a 200-lap race. We still have the competition caution at or around lap number 20, and they did run, 8, 9 pace and parade laps, so that's some fuel that's burned away. How many pace and parade laps are we going to burn away this time before the green flag flies? That's an unknown. But all that being said, they can go about 45, maybe 47 laps on a full tank of Sunoco fuel. The cars at the front of the field will burn gas quicker and at a more eclipsing rate, given the fact that they have clean air and they're in the throttle a lot longer than cars in the mid-pack. So that number could drop down to 43, 44 laps to be safe. You got to look at it that way. So, a competition caution lap around 20. I would expect the majority of the field to come in and at least top it off with Sunoco fuel. I don't expect a whole lot of tire changes on that first competition caution, though.
Car covers are off. Drivers are in. Coming up, the command, stay with us. We're going racing here very shortly.
your vehicle needs.
Licky, Richfield.
Mayetta, New Jersey.
Chris Buescher, Prosper, Texas.
Starting third.
Ty Gibbs, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Starting second.
Ross Chastain, Alva, Florida.
And starting on the pole.
Christopher Bell, Norman, Oklahoma.
And that's the starting lineup for the Firekeepers Casino 400.
As we have the sunshine peeking through yet again here at Michigan International Speedway. That's the starting lineup getting set for the Firekeepers Casino 400. If you're just tuning in, you haven't missed a thing, literally.
All right, drivers in the vehicles, strapping in, putting on their gloves.
Put the cars on the track for the pace laps, and then the rains came, albeit brief showers, but just enough to aggravate everything and get this 2-mile track dry.
You know what? I'm going to do something different than we normally do,
What do you
Alex. Normally, I would go out to Dave Moody in turn 2 and ask him how the weather is out there. But every time we do it, what does he say?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, he says it's raining. Dave, not coming to you. Lay out. We're going to Mike Bagley just outside of turn 3 for a positive update, and I know the bagman can deliver. Mike?
Come on, Jeffrey. We are awash in brilliant Michigan sunshine here in turns 3 and 4 right now. Track's just about buttoned up, just about dry, and I would say this is the most sunshine we have had all day. Right now, the whole track is ensconced in sunshine. Once we get matters tended to on the racetrack, we should be good to go. Nothing falling from the sky right now.
I'll go out there to you in turn 2, Dave Moody from Barrie, Vermont, on top of your billboard, perched, poised, and ready to go. What's it like out there, Moody?
Thanks, buddy. Yes, indeed.
I'm going to refresh this audio.
A little bit. I think you guys are exactly right. I think we've got a chance to go full distance here this afternoon in Michigan.
Boy, who is he and what has he done with the real Dave Moody? I'm kidding you, Dave. Of course, Dave is ready to go. Mike is ready to go. And downstairs, Steve and Jason are ready to go.
Again, this race is going to be on USA.
Alex Hayden. Good crowd
on your television dial.
And infield sold out, has been for weeks. You couldn't get another camper, tent, or RV in there if you had to. You take a look at the suites that line pit road.
Bobby at the Red Sox game. Sox getting killed 10-1. Ouch.
Right below us, sold out. Is there a seat or two left in the grandstands? Yeah, there might be a few. But I think if you're Joe Fowler, if you're the team here at the Michigan International Speedway, when you stand up here where we are and you look around this massive facility, you ought to be pretty darn proud.
Absolutely right. This is one of them that a lot of people circle in their calendar. You know, I've got friends that live in eastern North Carolina where I do. that drove up here because they've never been to this track. They've listened to us describe it year
Here you go,
after
Glenn.
year on
Glenn doing
MRN,
some math,
and they
y'all.
wanted to come here and see this facility in person. They are here over in the Turn 4 grandstands right now. So yeah, this is a bucket list track for a lot of people to come to because of the speeds, because of the width of the track, where the drivers can use multiple lanes. There's an awful lot to be excited about when the engines fire to go racing.
A lot of Canadian race fans down here as well. Welcome to all of those that are here on the property. Let's go back to 2014 and talk about the evolution of this racetrack, where it was then.
Yeah, that's better.
And
That's
where
better,
it is
funny guy.
now, because when they resurfaced this racetrack, it made it wicked fast. Jeff Gordon, 206 and change. The racing, single file. You couldn't pass on that racetrack after they put the new asphalt down if you had to. You need to have it weather. You need to have it wear. You need a couple of Michigan winters on it, a few Michigan summers on it. And now all of a sudden we have
you and me, Glenn. You and me, buddy.
back that we remember 5 lanes wide.
You and me.
Use it all. If the bottom doesn't work, go to the middle. Middle doesn't work, take it to the top.
Yeah, and because of the speeds back in those days being so fast, you were on the ragged edge. Nobody wanted to be around anybody else. Here, it's a lot different. Yes, they're going fast here at Michigan, qualifying over 193 miles per hour, the fastest we've seen all year long. But these drivers are going to have the ability to dive it down in the corner. If the
We're approaching. We're at
to
1
go to the
o'clock,
bottom of the
y'all.
track,
1
you know
o'clock
what?
my
You got a
time.
second, third, or even a fourth lane
So
to
if
go
this thing goes
upstairs
full
to work
distance,
that in.
it's going to run right
Earlier in
into
the
the Dodger
broadcast,
game. I'll
we
have
heard
to make a
turn
decision
announcers
at that
Dave Moody and
point.
Mike Bagley describe the resin that was put down in the middle of the turns up towards the outside wall. That's a compound
Action says
that they
hello.
put
Say
down to
hello
get
to her
more
from me.
grip in these
Dave, say
Goodyear
hello to her
tires.
from me.
So that is a bit of a confidence builder
Boom,
for these
boom.
drivers to go on up there. Now, that all being said, we did hear Eric Jones say a moment ago during the delay that resin after a little rain might be a little bit slippery for the
I
first
actually
time or
killed
two
the
you go through there.
ASVAB.
But once you go through there a lap or two, it's going to come
I actually
in perfect.
killed it.
We're going to have a good race today.
Just under 3 minutes, just under 3.5 minutes until we take it trackside for the command, and we'll do that when we come back.
So MRN do another commercial break. And approaching 500 views. Average view duration is low. Current subscriber count 13,382, so 18 subscribers away from 13,400.
Daytona.
I remember that I don't remember the score, but I remember it was high enough that I could do whatever I wanted. Well, no rain, man. Our monsoons have been horrible, Theo. This is the worst I've ever seen it. Yeah, usually this time of year I've had to bring somebody out here to cut the grass or the land a couple times by now, and it's there's nothing out there, man. We are dry.
NASCAR Foundation today.
What's up, Tim Walker? What's up, buddy?
Alex Hayden just told me that his Well, his all of his magical gear, tracking all the weather. 72 degrees outside, feels like 72. Alex, when I stepped outside, I thought it felt more like 92. It's rather humid.
Yeah.
A little warm.
A little thick out there.
A little thick. But there's no rain.
No, the sun's beating down right now. As we look off behind Mike Bagley, out behind turns 3 and 4, and even over on the backstretch, boy, it's dark clouds out there. But that is the direction it's all moving, and that's the best news of all. That doesn't mean there's not still some overcast skies in and around. We have
I'm probably headed that way. We'll see how this plays out here at the beginning here, but
we are
the real likelihood is that around 3:30, I'll be switching over to the Dodgers side
it's going to change. But if we get a big
and ending this stream, but
it's going to cool the track surface down. Handling's going to change again.
I don't know. If Harvick's sitting there up front, maybe I hang out until the end. But
we run on all year long. Michigan.
He got a long way to go.
International Speedway, and just like that, we are ready to go. The Firekeepers Casino 400, the NASCAR Cup Series live on the Motor Racing Network. We have been waiting and waiting. Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain.
All right, you hear him.
Engines to life, and 37 cars in all come to life as we get ready to go. This is going to be something special, Alex. I look at that front row. I see Chastain. I see Christopher Bell. I go back a year, and the two wiped each other out.
Yeah, they got together in this race a year ago. Both ended their race in that exchange. And ironically, incidentally, here we are on the front row. Christopher Bell and Ross Chastain on the front row. We get set to put the cars on the racetrack.
Coke Zero Sugar
looks like
Taste.
they're going to go to one more commercial. We got about 40 in the chat, y'all. Cars still on pit road. Pace cars lights on. Officials hands up in the air like they just don't care. Final checks by the officials of the race cars.
Driver was one line.
All right, come on, roll out. All right, pace car rolling forward off pit road. I did see that. I did see that the Rangers are doing well. Look at that Rocket League car, number 45. All right, inside row rolling out first.
Stories in the sport.
Denny Hamlin again has the Mavis colors on his car. That's crazy. I wonder if something happened with FedEx.
The field has rolled off the pit lane and on to the 2-mile Michigan International Speedway. Track is dry. I just see one or two jet dryers over in the midpoint of the backstretch, well below the racing surface, just making sure that spin-off paved area is completely dry.
Why don't we take a swing around the racetrack one more time? We'll make this the official one. They've done it once, but I'll bet this one will be even better the second time around. Dave, you gave us a tail of the tape last time. How about the lay of the land as we take a look at you out there in turn 2 from Barry, Vermont?
Bell and Chastain on the front row.
It's a lot of pressure to put on a guy to do it twice in one day, Jeff, but I'll do my best. Yes, 18 degrees of banking still here in turns 1 and 2. That's quite a bit.
Get you to the stat page as soon as it becomes
if
active,
the car's
y'all.
not handling well. The thing about Michigan that the drivers love is that if you've got a somewhat ill-handling race car, you can self-medicate, moving up or down a lane or two. By the time this one is over, I suspect we'll see guys like Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell
Is that some
up
heat
just
warnings?
ripping the fence, running inches off that outside safer barrier all the way around turns 1 and 2. It's a thrilling place to watch a race when they spread out and start searching for clean air and open asphalt. Mike Bagley, same at your end.
Yes, it is. 18 degrees of banking, turns 3 and 4. Alex mentioned a moment ago the resin that has been applied on the racetrack. The corners here at Michigan are 5 lanes wide, just like they would be on an interstate. Well, the bottom 2.5 are untreated. The upper 2.5 have been treated, and that's what creates the options that the drivers will take advantage of.
The drivers say that once rain hits this track, those upper 2 lanes that have had that solvent applied to them, it gets real slick up top there, so it'll take it a while to come in here.
As the field makes their way around the racetrack, they've just done their first, I guess you could say, another parade lap is the best way to say it. Let's go back down to the pit lane. Steve posted the exit of pit road. Steve, crews have to kind of be ready to go yet again.
200 laps is the hope distance.
They're getting rezoned in, and I actually talked to Michael McDowell, and he said trying to stay focused on the game at hand. He's
108 degrees.
Doing a little calisthenics.
Yeah, we've been right near 102 or so.
Getting ready to go, unpacking all of their air guns. They wanted to make sure they stayed dry.
We've been about 102 around here.
I think things are getting ready to go. A lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation down here on
What's up, Thomas Forbes?
And the pit road. Jason Toy, how about in the pit? How about in the pit entry area?
Well, much of the same thing, Postman. They're all getting warmed up. They're doing the jumping jacks, calisthenics, stretching out. During the rain delay, we had a couple of footballs out here on pit road getting tossed around with some of these former college athletes. So they're ready. They're amped up. Some even grabbed a quick nap while we had that little rain delay. So it's time to strap it up, get ready to roll, and go racing here in the Irish Hills.
Jason,
it's looking pretty
nap time
cloudy.
Is over. Racing time coming up. Let's give you some numbers. 200 laps, 400 miles. You probably already know that. Stage 1 done. Lap 45, stage 2, 120. 80 more to the scheduled completion of this event. 17 Chevrolets, 14 Fords.
I'm going to try to refresh the stat page again.
Former winners, and we'll get to them all in a minute. Former winners in the field. You got to start with Kevin Harvick. He is a 6-time winner here.
There's a good crowd there. Good crowd at the track.
We talked a lot about him during our NASCAR Live pre-race show. A 6-time winner. 4 out of the past 5.
It's your money car today, Dave?
Michigan have been won by that guy from Bakersfield, California.
Harvick, a 6-time winner. Joey Logano and Kyle Larson, they both have won here 3 times. Denny Hamlin's got a couple of wins here at Michigan. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney each have a win. Those are the only active Michigan winners in today's race. Jeff, we're half a lap away from going under the green flag and putting this field finally up to speed here at Michigan on this Sunday afternoon. Now, the pole sitter, Christopher Bell, has opted to start today's race from the outside lane, and that is a bit of a preview, I think, what we're going to see on restarts today.
Yeah, we saw it all day yesterday. The driver is electing to restart or start outside row 1. And it paid off time and time again. Well, the wait is over. A weather delay has been put in the rearview mirror, and we are set to go. The Irish Hills, Michigan International Speedway, Firekeepers Casino 400, the NASCAR Cup Series in action. And as we look skyward, there is actually some blue sky above. A perfect Sunday afternoon to go racing, settle in, and for the start from Goldsboro, North Carolina, here is the Motor Racing Network's Alex Hayden.
Pace cars hit the pit lane. Joey Aycock on top of the flag stand goes green flag in the air, and we are racing in the Irish
green
Hills.
flag, let's
Christopher
go.
Bell on the outside lane. Ross Chastain tucks alongside to the bottom.
Neither driver able to get an advantage as they hit the 18-degree banking in turn number 1. Now Chastain will begin to creep up in that low line. Ross Chastain to the lead. Christopher Bell second. Buescher around the outside of Gibbs for third.
Ty Gibbs has a problem coming out of turn number 2, getting up to speed.
We got stats.
That is. Now he'll slide in line in position number 4, right across the nose of Joey Logano as Ross Chastain leads him for the first time here today at Michigan.
You got
Chastain
Bell
leads him
there
down the
running second.
backstretch.
Then comes Ty Gibbs, top 4-5, nose to tail further back. We are 2 and 3 wide racing. Bubba Wallace on the move. He'll tuck back in line behind Logano, and now they go 3 wide into 1.
That's where Chase Elliott dives to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll bypass the William Byron machine as they go back to double file racing. Bypasses William Byron and Bubba Wallace.
Challenge for third. Here's Chris Buescher, that is, around the outside of Martin Truex Jr. They race side by side. Off the end of the back straightaway. Truex Fender out in front. Here comes Buescher, letting it fly in the middle of the racetrack as they race their way off the corner.
Toyota Ford battle up off turn 4 for the number 3 position. Will be won by the Ford for the moment by Chris Buescher on the outside lane. Lap number 2 goes on the board. Everybody chases the red, white, and blue Chevrolet of Ross Chastain.
Top 10 or 11 are single file.
Chastain in them jockey colors, red, white, and blue.
Tyler Reddick to the bottom of the racetrack.
Bell second, Buescher third.
Meanwhile, up front, here is Martin Truex Jr. trying to regain some lost ground. He'll pull to the inside of Chris Buescher. Again, battle for third. Front 10, front 12 cars basically sewn together with that first side-by-side battle being for third.
Well, Truex has got it rolling early on. He was 4th. He wants 3rd.
Truex is the only car out of line on the low side, passing cars.
Here comes Bubba Wallace working down to the inside on William Byron.
Bubba's on the move as he challenges for the number 8 position. He's got the bottom of the racetrack. Byron a groove up. Willie D loses the nose a bit. That'll allow Bubba Wallace to...
All right, we're on lap 4 of 200, 4 of 45 in stage 1.
Second, Chris Buescher looked to the inside of Christopher Bell for a moment.
Chastain, Bell, Buescher still your top 3.
Right now, he's under fire again. Truex dives in deep into turn 3 this time.
And we'll let the car drift up across the nose of the Chris Buescher Ford. Give third to Martin Truex Jr. He's on the march. Ross Chastain shows the way. First laps he's led in a Cup car since he last won at Nashville. They raced a 1.
And the battle is on for the 3, 4, and 5 positions. Ty Gibbs is going to dive low, make a move on the Chris Buescher machine. Toyota versus Ford as they race the back straightaway.
And that's the way they'll sit on the back straightaway. Toyota, that would be Ty Gibbs, to the inside of Ford. That's Chris Buescher. That battle for 4th is allowing the front 3 to pull away. And Martin Truex Jr., he wants more. He's on the move off the corner.
He will dial up the low lane off of turn number 4 and try to and succeed, pulling
Truex in a third.
Christopher Bell side by side for 2nd and side by side for 4th.
Very uncharacteristic of Martin Truex Jr. to show his cards in the opening 5 or 6 laps. I think that tells you just how good.
Harvick in the back of the field is dropped out of the top 20.
Got the 2nd spot as they race off turn 2.
Now the focus begins from 4th on back. Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs, Joey Logano, and behind them, Bubba Wallace pulls to the inside of Chase Elliott. Side by side, they'll race into turn 3.
What do you mean, where did everyone go? I think they're here.
Up just in front of him, Joey Logano will slide down.
All right, Chastain's
just in case Bubba had thoughts of trying
in
to get a
first still. 188, 487 was his fast lap speed. We're on lap 6 of 45 in stage 1.
As a matter of fact, he's got the number 6 position as he dives underneath Joey Logano on entry into turn number 1. Logano drops back to 7th. He's got company now from Chase Elliott.
Bubba Wallace has got speed here in the early going. Completes the pass on Logano. Pulls away by 3.
Everyone tell Butterfly you're here.
Immediately goes to work on Ty Gibbs in what would be a race for position number 5.
Joey Logano working the outside of the racetrack. Boy, they are stacked up behind that good battle as they come across the line. I think we need to focus, Dave, at the front of the field because Truex is there on Chastain.
Now, Ross Chastain's time at the front may be limited. Here comes MTJ. He'll go to the bottom of the racetrack in turn 2. Hug the yellow line.
Truex yesterday re-signed an extension. He will race in 2024 for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Away from Chastain in the battle for the lead. They separate themselves by 3 as everybody will race about a lane off the bottom of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4.
As they make their way up off of the corner, remember we will have a competition caution since all the heavy rains earlier this morning and throughout the afternoon washed a lot of the rubber off the track. That competition caution, Jeff, will be waving at or around lap number 20.
So far now 8 laps in, the big movers. How about Corey LaJoie? joy. He is up 6 positions since we put them under the green flag. Bubba Wallace is up 5. Kyle Larson, no surprise.
It's still
there,
Chastain,
up 4.
Truex,
Eric
Christopher
Jones
Bell.
is up 4, and Martin Truex Jr. is
Chastain's
up 3.
lead, 0.3 of a second over
Kicks off.
Truex.
Well, he'll be the race leader. He is all over Ross Chastain. It's Ross and Martin, 1-2, 9 down. We are just underway.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico.
Commercial
Sarah
break.
wants a
Commercial break, y'all. We're on lap 10 of 45 in stage 1, 10 of 200 in the race. Competition caution coming up in about 10 laps due to today's rain. I didn't know that, fellow butterfly. Chastain trying to increase that lead over Truex. So far, he's successful. Kathleen says someone needs to dump Ross.
And receive 100.
Let's see what kind of competition we got out here, y'all. Killing the race, y'all. Check back in on MRN.
Back at Michigan, ongoing battle for the lead is in turn 1.
Ross Chastain has done a pretty good job of fending off the advances of Martin Truex Jr., but that may be over now. Here comes Truex, pushes the nose to the inside. They're dead even on the back straightaway.
No rest for the weary atop the leaderboard. Ross Chastain looks in the rearview mirror. Truex is not there because he's to his left elbow. Truex dives it deep into 3, and Chastain tries to rally back on the outside.
Lap number 14. Will we have our first lead change? No, we won't at the moment. Ross Chastain keeps it wound up topside. He'll hang on to the top spot. Truex falls back in line. Pole setter Christopher Bell not too far behind.
Beginning to close in. He's only about 5, maybe 6 car lengths back in front of that, behind that 2-car lead battle. It's Chastain now by 2 over Truex. 6 more back to Bell.
Chastain running for his life right now. He's got Truex.
Chastain's lead. Uh-oh.
Pushes around. Backs hard into the outside retaining wall. Everybody scatters to the low line. Kyle trying to lock it down. Harvick dives to the outside to avoid. Kyle Busch, for the second time in his many laps, having an adventure in turn 2.
The USA is in commercial while this is all going on, chat.
The outside safer barrier on exit. This time around, he was inside a 2-wide
USA is in a commercial break as this is all going on.
Hard into the fence.
They were battling for 10th position. Busch and Blaney inches, Dave, apart. Blaney to the outside, Busch to the inside. Around goes Kyle, and you can take it from there.
He's, as you might expect, not a happy camper. He's driving away.
Kyle Busch into the wall, filthy rat.
Suspension damage on the left rear
The 8-car turned to the inside.
Miracle, but he's driving it down the back straightaway.
He's going to get it going again.
Headed to pit road.
Well, Ryan Blaney was.
Here's our first look at it. He's on the inside. Blaney up high. Busch comes up, gets into him, and around goes that number 8 Chevrolet.
Thinking that they were riding along and needing that piece of real estate at the same time, and Kyle Busch got the worst end of that one.
Yeah, that doesn't work. Two drivers occupying the same space at the same time ends up like what we just saw, Kyle going around. They definitely made contact, wheel-to-wheel type contact, and then Kyle Busch just spun and into the wall.
Heard him say something about Kevin Harvick being
under the caution flag first time here this
near
afternoon.
this.
And remember that we have a comp caution coming up at lap 20. At least that's when it's scheduled. Jason Toy.
Harvick gets by without incident.
Yeah, heavy left rear damage. The window net's coming down. Suspension completely shot on the left front of the race car, and they just said, guys, let's just take it to the garage. It's done. Kyle has dropped the window net. It's going to be a short afternoon. Going to be a very short afternoon here for Kyle Busch.
A tough break. Kyle Busch apparently will be out of the race and will finish dead last.
Quick Trip's first time on that car, and it ends early.
Have here in Michigan, and which has been a very busy few days of racing for Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he picked up the win.
Yep, he's out of the race.
Thursday night at the Berlin Raceway when SRX was in town. Kyle dominating that event. Brad Kozlowski was there as well. They put on a great show. Castro Neves had a good run. You were there. A lot of these drivers were over there on Thursday and hoping to come away with a big day here this afternoon.
Well, then Kyle Busch went and ran the dirt at Merritt Speedway here in Michigan as well. And
Mid-Michigan.
Yeah, he gave it a good run and learned very quickly. And in his own words,
Hey, fan Nick Productions says, "Well, my favorite crafts, go Truex."
Kyle Larson. Not many people are Kyle Larson on dirt. Short day for Kyle Busch.
What's up, Clayton?
Under the caution flag. We're working
I appreciate it,
lap number
buddy.
17. Next time by, let's tell you how your favorite driver is running.
Busch driving that number 8 back behind the wall. Richard Childress on top of the hauler.
Second, Christopher Bell third, Chris Buescher fourth. Man, how about Chris Buescher and what he's doing right now? Winner a week ago, running top 5 here today. Things are going well for that camp. Ty Gibbs 5th, Bubba Wallace 6th, Chase Elliott 7th, William Byron, his teammate 8th. And then you've got teammates 9th and 10th, and Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney.
Kyle Larson is 11th. Denny Hamlin
We're on
is
stage
12th.
1, lap
Daniel
17 of
Suarez
45.
is
This will
13th.
probably
Tyler
act
Reddick is
as
14th, and Austin
the
Dillon
competition
15th.
caution.
Brad
Kyle Busch is
Keselowski
out
16th.
of
Alex
the number
Bowman
8
17th.
Chevrolet.
Eric Jones is 18th. Eric Almirola 19th. And 20th is being scored Kevin Harvick.
Pit road is open. It is the competition caution. Not all of them are going to come to pit road. Let's start with Jason Toy.
Here's who's couple coming.
Drivers
Some are coming, some aren't.
Turn 4 in the pit road. Just getting
Some
fuel
are
to top
coming
things
down
off on
pit
the
road,
60
some are not.
Ross Chastain reported his
Yibbity,
car was a
yibbity,
little tight.
yibbity.
They're going to make just a fuel addition and a minor chassis.
It was truly a quick trip for the number 8 today.
Looks like Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain go out side by side. William Byron was in Sunoco Racing
All right,
Fuel.
Chastain, Bell, among the cars on pit road.
As far as strategy goes, some stay out, some come in here. Pit stops, lap number 17.
And that is, again, the competition caution. That's why they say it's
All right, Bell wins the race off pit road. Most everybody takes 2 tires, with the exception of McDowell, who only took 0.
Right now at Wendy's, when you buy either
Back under caution. I mean, back under radio delay. All right, we'll see you when you get back, Kathleen. Now learning how to talk today. You ain't lying, bro. Yibbity, yibbity, yibbity. We got 43 up in here. NASCAR Cup Series Racing, the Firekeeper Casino 400 from Michigan International Speedway. Harvick came real quick to hitting Busch there, y'all, as he was coming down the racetrack. And see if MRN is ready to go.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third.
It's 101 degrees. We are under a heat alert warning until tomorrow, says Butterfly.
They're very unexpected.
Track condition yellow, y'all. Track condition yellow. Martin Truex still showing as the leader. Saw that Harvick was on pit road with that group. I think I did. Val, I do understand gibberish. I hear it every day from Leah. Hey now. Hey now.
.org/.
What's up, Dab Dave? SD Gaming in the house. What's up, Eric Wallace?
Field is in turn number 4 behind the pace car. Lights are out, and the pace car will make the hard left turn here and get back on the pit lane. They'll head for the Geico restart zone, Jeff, and get this thing
Here
back
we go.
underway.
We're about to get back underway.
Toyota is up front, Alex. You've got Ty Gibbs down to the inside of his team.
Remember, competition caution canceled.
Come to the line, and the green flag goes back in the air. Chase Elliott and Chris Buescher, they're in row 2. Daniel Suarez, Bubba Wallace make up row 3. Side by side, they climb the banking in turn 1.
2 by 2 for the lead and all the way back through the pack, although one driver gets kicked 3 wide to the outside. That's the Ryan Preece.
Kyle Busch wrecked. Hiking combat. Kyle Busch out of the race.
Challenge for second right
Solo
now.
car
Ty
crash.
Gibbs looks in the rearview mirror. Chris Buescher's there to fill those mirrors. Bubba Wallace now 4th.
Gibbs in second, y'all.
Into 5th and into a side-by-side battle with Ryan Blaney.
Blaney will squeeze down to the bottom
Gibbs
of the
in
racetrack
second.
and slide up across the bow of the Napa Chevrolet. So give that spot to Ryan Blaney. He is now up to 5th. Elliott goes 6th. Daniel Suarez 7th. But here's Chase
You
Elliott.
had that
jumping
chainsaw
out of
going
line.
last night,
Jump
Dab
to the
Dave?
bottom and go after Ryan Blaney in a battle for the number 5 position. Elliott hugging the yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack. He gets Blaney. Now he wants a piece of Bubba Wallace.
Trying to go after 4th position, but the problem is the outside line stronger right there. So Bubba will hang on to 4th. Blaney will hang on to 5th. Elliott falls in line in 6th, and to his inside comes Tyler Reddick on the move.
Well, he had a rolling going into turn number 3, picking up a couple of spots. Now he'll climb
wave for the
bank
West
in
Coast.
and tuck back in line behind Blaney. Chase Elliott right there, busting out of line now. Here comes Daniel Suarez.
Suarez to the inside on Elliott. That now will be the side-by-side battle for 7th and 8th place. Daniel Suarez down low, Elliott up high. Tyler Reddick drifts wide in front of them as they race their way to the back straightaway.
And Truex's lead at 0.6 of a second over Gibbs.
Safer barrier in a very intense battle there with Daniel Suarez in front of
9/10
them.
over
Tyler Reddick's
Buescher.
looking for more real estate.
Bubba Wallace up
Instead
to
of going
4th.
downstairs like he did last time, he's going to split the difference in the banking right down the middle.
And for the moment, they're all going to drift up against the outside safer barrier and ride single file. The front, what we got, 9 cars as they come across the line, all stayed on the racetrack. I say that, but Chastain just passed Keselowski. So the front 8 cars stayed on the racetrack and did not come to pit lane on lap number 17. Ross Chastain, who is now 9th, Jeff, was the first to come in and the first back out on the racetrack.
23 laps to go in the stage. Do they need fuel before we put the green and white checkered flag in the air? Posty, you talked to Adam Stevens.
We're on lap 23 of 200 in the race, 23 of 45 in stage 1. 178 laps to go. Martin Truex Jr. is your leader, a 0.7 of a second lead over Ty Gibbs.
48 laps. Now the original plan was this stage is 45 laps. With the original
Kevin Harvick,
parade
after
laps,
pitting,
they had
is showing
3
in the
parade laps.
27th
They all felt
position.
really good about that, but we had those 9 or 10 laps before the rain delay, then the traditional 3 or 4 parade laps. And
Diner Raiders joint practices in Vegas. Going to be fun, says Glenn.
11 teams that stayed on the racetrack.
Checking back in, Val. Your voice sounds different. Reminds me of my mom when she stays up all night talking to guests.
I do think it is going to be close
Mr.
for
Yee.
those 11 cars that stayed on the racetrack to make it to the end of stage number 1, which is lap number 45.
Well, Dave, if they're telling Truex to save some fuel, it doesn't look like he is.
Well, if he's doing it, Alex, he's
You
doing
were just
it at a
getting up
very
when the
high
first
rate
stream
of
went off?
speed. He put a good bit of real estate between himself and the second-place machine as they head for 3.
About a dozen car lengths between the top 2 of Martin Truex Jr. and Ty Gibbs. It's about 10 back to Buescher in 3rd, about 8 back to Bubba Wallace in 4th, and about 12 back to a good battle for position number 5.
Saving fuel at 190 miles an hour. That is what Truex just clicked off a lap at. Let's pick up that battle. Blaney and Tyler Reddick, Ford and Toyota, headed to turn 1.
Got that Wolfman Jack vibe.
As they hit the 18-degree banking.
What was his
Blaney's gonna run
catchphrase?
About dead center in the banking. Reddick is going to run a groove lower, not able to close any ground this time.
Tyler Reddick just trying to open up that inside line. The problem was he wasn't close enough to Blaney to do it, but as they race off the end of the back straightaway, which lanes will they take? Blaney will take a lane off the bottom. Reddick now.
Val should attempt the 2 a.m. too much. He's not a youth.
And that Toyota of Reddick
Hey
is
now.
climbing the leaderboard. In the
Hey
top
now,
6,
Theo.
4 of those cars are all Toyota Camrys. Christopher Bell, who was our pole sitter, has
What's up,
backslid
Jeremy?
all the way to 12th.
What's going
And
on,
the
man?
deepest running Toyota right now is Denny Hamlin. He, too, is on the backslide from his original starting spot of 13th. Hamlin is backslid back to the number 16 spot. So, Jeff, while some Camrys are running well, some are not.
Yeah, we saw that in practice yesterday also, Alex, and it was Hamlin that was the lowest running Toyota then also. We put him under the green flag, back under the green flag on lap 18. Kyle Larson and his teammate Alex Bowman up 14 spots.
Some battling back there around the 7th position there.
Going the wrong way. Eric Almirola and his teammate Kevin Harvick down 11 and 10 spots respectively. That's not what they were looking for.
No, they also were 2 of the drivers that did come to pit lane on lap 17.
I didn't see Harvick.
Clearly, they wanted to
27th, making a couple
and
passes.
Took a little extra moment or 2 on the pit stop to make sure their car was where they wanted it to be for this particular run, potentially to the end of stage number 1, which will be in 17 more circuits, as Martin Truex Jr. still has a 1-second lead over Ty Gibbs.
Parents, are you tired of helping put
another
your kids'
commercial
shoes
break.
on? They're squirming, watching cartoons, anything but helping.
Blow on the buttons. All right, 29 of 200, y'all. It's an 8th of the race, right? Somewhere in that ballpark. Truex's junior lead is almost a full second over Gibbs now. Buescher 2.3 seconds back in 3rd. David Yeast's butterfly detention would help me get much needed time to catch up on my homework. That's what it's for, bro. What do you think detention is for? We've busted the 50 number in the chat, y'all. Let's go.
This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
And MRN comes back from a commercial to go to a commercial. Sons of bitches. They got detention for not wearing PE clothes. Such BS. Will you just be going around stinky in your all-day clothes, SD? Sheila did some errands, just got home. Did a Google search, and one of Wolfman Jack's catchphrase was, "We are put on this earth to have a good time."
He goes to the inside.
All right, 14 laps to go in stage 1.
1993 season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
I forgot them, and it was windy and cold. No way I would run in shorts and a shirt. Theo says, I used to be able to do all-nighters at work, but when I got in my 50s, it's just too much.
Number one, Truex continues to hang on to a very consistent 1 second lead. You get the sense right now, Jim,
On USA, they are interviewing Kyle Busch and showing a replay
He's also
of his spin.
riding a rocket ship right now. That car is just wicked fast, leading over
What's up,
Ty
Jarek?
Gibbs, Chris Buescher, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick.
Yeah,
That's
Busch wrecked out of the race, buddy.
Ryan Blaney in the Ford Mustang is 6th. Then comes Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain.
I have Dave wondering what school everybody is in the chat.
Kyle Busch just came out. Obviously, short afternoon. What happened?
It's the Butterfly Middle School.
Myself in a bad spot, so really hate that I did that. Wish my results were better for
The Butterfly School of Lower Learning.
Put myself in a bad spot like that and get crashed. So hate it for Quick Trip. Everybody involved. It was a really short day.
The 24 is in 11th position. 11th.
Tough break for Kyle Busch, and when he says he put himself in a bad spot, he went to the inside of Blaney going into turn number 1. Very precarious spot, aerodynamic.
The Butterfly Institute of
Back of the
Dumbasses.
car, and it swung around, swapped ends, and slid up the racetrack and into the wall.
I'm at the parakeet stage.
34, I gave you a quick look at the front of the field as
Starting
they
to get
run
dank
right
and
now.
wanting to
We
go to
take a look
sleep.
at the entire running order, brought to you by Sunoco.
Trouble, turn 2. Chase Elliott loses it all by himself. Slams the outside
Oh,
wall.
wow,
From
Elliott.
first. A very reminiscent impact to that just claimed Kyle Busch, but this time it was not 2x2
Elliott
racing.
goes
He was
around,
all
just
by
whips
himself.
around
The
for
rear
no
end
reason.
snapped loose, and a hard lick into the safer barrier for the Napa Chevrolet.
Caution for the second time today. Chase Elliott is one of those drivers on the outside of the playoff grid that was hoping to
Elliott
have a
can
good day.
ill afford
That's not going to happen now.
to have a bad race.
Down, Alex. I think he knows how this story ends.
He is in danger of not making the playoffs
First crash into the outside wall.
unless he can get a win here the next few
I don't
weeks.
think there's a chance in the world that car continues.
Well, when we dropped the green flag, there were 17 Chevrolets in the field. We've lost 2 very good ones recently. First, Kyle Busch. And now
David says the first time I ever had detention, the teacher was so surprised she said sent me home.
into turn number 1, and that almost looks like a it's just hard to say. That thing just snapped around on him.
It looked like maybe the right rear tire just had a puncture in it.
As long as they can teach me how to spell GED, says Dab Dave.
Race car going off into turn 1, and when you're at 190 plus miles an hour, making a left-hand turn and the right rear goes away on you, that's no good.
Yeah, that's bad. Truex, Gibbs under the caution. Now, we will more than likely, we're coming to the end of the stage here. So now you've got to figure stage points come into play. The opportunity, by the way, pit road is not open, so nobody is going to be able to.
Women's World Cup is happening. They're expanding the field to 32, which means 16 teams will advance.
The stage. There's some decisions that are
What are you talking about, Jeremy?
Yeah, there is, but this will help those who did not pit on lap 17 to save extra fuel to potentially make it to the end of the stage. We tried it a minute ago. Dave interrupted us with the trouble call, and rightly so. So here's a look at the leaderboard presented by Sunoco. Sunoco puts the same focus and care that it goes into the fuel at its stations that it does for the race fuel that powers the fastest racing machines around the world. Sunoco, fueling NASCAR for 20 years.
Martin Truex Jr. has led 21 laps total.
And the 9 car behind pit wall, headed to the garages.
Second. Chris Buescher is 3rd, Bubba Wallace 4th, and Tyler Reddick is 5th. Ryan Blaney, Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain.
He does a wild turn there, puts it into the stall, and Gustafsson, his crew chief, is headed for the garage. Backpack, looking forlorn. 9 laps to go in stage 1.
Moment is Chase Briscoe. As we look down on the pit lane, the 15th place car was Michael McDowell, but he is on pit road with the hood up on that race car. So another driver that is right there in the thick of things playoff-wise, a potential problem. He is 5th. Here's the rest of the top 20 with Eric Jones 16th, Austin Cindric 17th, Chase Briscoe 18th,
OSD.
Corey LaJoie 19th, and Ryan Preece is 20th.
And the
They've given an apple to Butterfly.
Of the Ford Mustang, driven by Michael McDowell. Steve,
Did we decide what the name of the school is, y'all?
Radioed in that he hit something out on the racetrack, and there's a lot of damage on that Ford Mustang. The crew is working around there. You guys talked about it. The hood was up. They have put the hood back down.
Butterfly School for Miscreants
He said it really hasn't
and Jackassedness.
down the straightaways. That's a big problem here in Michigan. So Michael McDowell, he is the driver on the cusp, on the cutoff of the playoff, and he's got damage on his race car as he's now down and away. And yeah, that thing is really, really smushed in if you look at it from the side of the car.
Pit lane is open here on lap 37, and there are a
Balls,
host of
butt
drivers
flies.
coming in,
What?
led by Tyler Reddick. He is going to get routine service on his Toyota. Eric Jones comes to
All right, pit road
lane.
open.
Second place driver Chris Buescher, routine service. Austin Cindric is in, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, and others. We go to Steve Post.
Yeah, here's Christopher Bell. The handle had gone away on his Rheem Toyota, so they decided to come down. They made an air pressure adjustment. Going to see what they do, and now a chassis adjustment on that car. Sunoco Racing Fuel goes in. William Byron is in. Denny Hamlin is in getting pit service. There goes Ross Chastain, Ryan Preece.
Jeremy says I used to get detention all the time, not doing homework, being late to school.
William Byron,
Shocking.
the first one off of pit road. He does so in front of Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman, Buescher, and Chastain. Couple of cars, those top three cars.
He's off pit road. Byron, Hamlin, Bowman, Buescher, Chastain, Blaney, Logano, Reddick, Bell, Jones.
So again, we're
excuse
seeing
me.
some ongoing strategy. We had drivers pit on lap 17, and now we're seeing drivers pit on lap 37. Not everybody apparently taking 4 brand new Goodyears. And we still have 5 drivers that have yet to come to pit road at all.
Suddenly we have 3 different strategies that are beginning to play out, which is part of the fun here at Michigan. There'll be 7 laps to go in the opening stage next time by. I think this is where it starts to get very intriguing how this race plays out from here on out. With the radar looking fantastic, we are under heavy overcast skies, but no precipitation on the radar at all.
Precipitation.
Planning to run 400 miles today, and how
I think there's a Porky Pig cartoon where he says
understand
that.
why Gibbs, Wallace, and Suarez
Participate.
stay on the racetrack. Hands down, no doubt about it. They have to have as many stage points as they can get, all 3 of them below the cut line. Now, Truex staying out has me scratching my head a little bit.
SD says, hopefully I don't get a mean teacher. I hate them.
Road, because at some point here, when the stage is over, they're coming to pit road, and they are going to cycle down the leaderboard. But we'll find out. He stayed on the racetrack. 6 to go. Next time by. Obviously could be looking to win the stage, get the playoff point. No doubt about that. But an interesting strategy call. Alex Hayden, you got the eyes on the field after the choose.
Yeah, and Martin Truex
All right, 50
Jr.
on the button in the chat.
The outside lane, that's not a shock. Second place, Ty Gibbs. He too will go to the outside lane. The third place driver to choose was Bubba Wallace. He'll go to the inside of the front row to go alongside Martin Truex Jr. to try his luck there.
All right, so we're getting ready for a Geico restart. Switch to Geico today to see all the ways you could save. It's easy.
Uh-oh, Sheila.
Go
Uh-oh.
to Geico.com to get a rate quote and get started seeing how much you could save. Lights off. Mike Bagley on that Chevrolet Camaro pace car making its way
All right, what's our school song, Butterfly? How does the Buttfly school song go?
Campers, RVs,
We are the Buttflies. Bzz, bzz, bzz.
their favorite driver.
And everybody probably
Fight,
do a little
fight,
nail bite
fight.
down there in that infield, and perhaps on the pit lane, getting ready for this stretch run, this little quick sprint to the end of this stage. Bubba Wallace, Martin Truex Jr., Bubba on the inside, MTJ to the outside. A couple of Toyotas going to lead us back to the green flag here as they race off the corner.
With 6 laps to go, a valuable playoff point, a valuable set of stage points on the line. Here they come into the Geico restart zone, and the green flag goes back in the air. Martin Truex Jr. on the outside lane.
Green flag.
Downstairs, those 2 Toyotas race through the gearbox, head to turn number 1 to Dave Moody.
And a handful of drivers in that top 10 who really need to maximize the stage point payoff right now. Truex is quickly away with the lead. There's one of them. Hamlin. Bubba Wallace underneath Ty Gibbs. He'll take second. Gibbs back to third.
Front three now have broken away as the field races on to the back straightaway. Running in fourth, you got Brad Keselowski. Daniel Suarez rounding out the top five. Everybody trying to angle up now. They're looking 2 and 3 wide. Back off the corner.
They were 3 wide, 6 deep off of turn
We be
2
racing.
just a lap ago. They stayed
Harvick
3
is
wide,
back
making
in the
4.
mess.
Here comes Joey Logano all the way to the apron on William Byron and Eric Jones.
He's got enough room right now, but what happens when they get to
We
turn
are
2?
the
They're
butt
still
flies,
3
the
wide.
mighty, mighty butt
Joey on the
flies.
bottom. William Byron in the middle. Top
Fight,
side, Eric
fight,
Jones.
fight.
Jones will get a big pull off the top.
Racing for a spot outside of the top 10. Top 12 now as Logano will be the big loser in that exchange. He'll lose about 3, maybe 4 spots as he is now 3 wide to the outside. Downstairs comes Chastain, and Chastain almost takes the nose off Cindric.
And Chastain keeps his foot in the gas on the outside lane as they come down to the line. They're thinking 3 wide again. This is all racing 16th, 17th, 18th in that hornet's nest. Back to the
That pack is Eric Jones.
Yeah, definitely Jay Ramos. Definitely. He's going to have to win to get in the playoffs.
Tyler Reddick on the bottom. Chastain in the middle. Sucks him off as they exit turn 2.
Tyler Reddick slides across the nose of Christopher Bell. Bell now with the crossover back to the bottom. Joey Logano looking on, waiting to see which lane is going to open up in this very intense battle back in turn 3.
That is outside of the top 10. They are 3 wide. Yet
And
again,
Bell back there
Logano
just
right
passing
there
cars
looking
at will.
At that 3 wide battle with Chastain in the middle, Cindric on the bottom, Ryan Preece, Ryan Blaney. It's a hornet's nest and it's headed to 1.
3 wide at the tail end of the top 10. Denny Hamlin gets hit 3 wide to the outside. William Byron underneath him. Chris Buescher in the middle.
And there's a number of cars, you know, that are fast on one side of the track but slow on the other. And the gaining, the back cars gaining speed is the type you see at like plate tracks.
Good hard racing all the way through the field with the exception of the lead. That's where Martin Truex Jr. begins to leg it out yet again.
He's going
2
the wrong
laps
way.
to go here in stage number 1. Let's pick up the fight for the 4th spot on back.
The mover right now is Daniel Suarez as he's working on the back bumper, trying to pick up another position, trying to fend him off is Brad Keselowski. Kyle Larson is there as well.
Wow, close quarters there as Suarez just pinches his way in line behind Keselowski and in front of Larson. Here is
At 2 laps to go in stage 1.
He'll slide under Keselowski and opens the inside lane.
We have 1 lap to go in stage number 1. This battle that Mike was calling is just a car length or 2 from Ty Gibbs, who's 3rd, and it's a
It's
good
Truex,
battle.
Wallace,
Busting out the
Gibbs, your
line,
top
driving to
3.
the bottom of the racetrack, that's Kyle Larson.
Larson to the low lane on
Pit road
Suarez.
currently
He'll finish
closed.
that pass on entry into turn 1. Daniel Suarez below the playoff cut line needs every point he can get. Now he's got trouble at the back door in the person of Alex Bowman.
As they continue to race it up for that spot off the end of the backstretch comes race leader Martin Truex Jr. with a commanding lead over Bubba Wallace.
Off turn number 4, looking for stage win number 4 on the 2023 campaign. Green and white checkered flag from the right hand of Joey Aycock is in the air. Martin Truex Jr. picks up the stage win as they come down to the line. William Byron hit the wall coming off turn number 4. Byron bounced his car hard off the
Oh, Sheila, your boy hit the wall.
4. Not sure how much damage he's going to have, but Byron absolutely pancaked it. Here's the rest of the top 10 finishers behind Truex at the stage.
So Truex,
Bubba
Wallace,
is
Gibbs,
second, Ty
Keselowski,
Gibbs third,
Larson,
Brad
your top
Keselowski
5.
fourth, Kyle Larson
Suarez,
fifth,
Bowman,
Daniel
Hamlin,
Suarez
Jones,
sixth,
and
Alex
LaJoy.
Bowman seventh, eighth,
Your
Denny
bottom
Hamlin
10.
ninth, Eric Jones, and 10th, Corey LaJoy.
And that is a look at the top 10, stage 1 done, presented by Powerball. Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR and home of NASCAR.
Yeah, the
Powerball
25
playoff.
hit the wall,
Chase
or the
Powerball
24.
Jackpot anytime.
He was able to
with
keep
drawings
going.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Martin Truex Jr. picking up the stage 1 win.
for the fourth time. And here's William Byron coming to pit lane. It is closed. As I mentioned, I watched that car rocket up the racetrack and bounce off the safer barrier. That red, white, and blue Liberty University Chevrolet Camaro does indeed have damage down the right side of that race car. Steve Post, Byron with the pit.
You got to put the buzz in there, Butterfly. We got to have the buzz.
All of a sudden and shot up the racetrack. So here he is, the red, white, and blue Chevy Camaro into the crew. He feels like the damage is limited to the right front. They asked him about the toe link in the rear. He said he didn't think he got into the rear. They are checking right now. Crew members under both ends. And yeah, the toe link maybe is bent on the car here, as one of the crew members just got up and kind of signaled to Rudy Fugel. So William Byron, a rough finish.
We can't keep a principle.
Some damage on the right front and the right rear.
Yeah, we've had so much bad luck keeping principles that we, whoever the co-host is for baseball, he's also the principal for the school. That's why we try to hire doctors.
No, I didn't think I was being hard on the right rear by any means, but maybe I was. I'm not sure.
All right, there you go. He's dejected, but Chase Elliott walking out of the care center.
Yeah, tough break, Chase Elliott, and it's been a tough break for Hendrick Motorsports here all of a sudden in stage one with Elliott being out of the race, as we just heard from him, and William Byron coming to the end of the stage, slapped it up against the safer barrier, sits on the pit lane as that team continues to work on that car. Now, pit lane is open, and here comes Martin Truex Jr., Bubba Wallace, Ty Gibbs, and Brad Keselowski. They have not made a pit stop as of yet. Daniel Suarez is in. They'll swing to the right side of that blue car and go to work on it. Chris Buescher is going to get Sunoco fuel only. Kyle Larson is in. Race leader Martin Truex Jr. looks like it's going to be a 4-tire change. Oh, they got problems. Problems on the Truex car on the right side. They started to run around. It was on the right rear. Let's go to Steve Post.
Yeah,
for Truex.
Ty Gibbs reporting that his car was just a little bit tough to get back to the accelerator. He wanted a little bit more speed. Brad Keselowski pretty happy with his car right now. They're taking time.
They had trouble with the rear tire on that trackside portion of the Truex car.
These cars, he was the first one out of the racetrack. So the two front runners I had, Keselowski and Ty Gibbs, making their first pit stops here. Lap number 47, end of stage number 1.
Race off pit road. Buescher, Larson, Wallace, LaJoie, Haley, Keselowski, Suarez, Gibbs. So Gibbs had trouble too.
They weren't even part of the top 10 coming off of pit road.
Bundling and saving with Geico
24 is stopped on pit road with the hood up. Hood is up on the 24. Sheila. All right, Gibbs is showing as the leader, but he won't stay there long. Hey, Ramos, they're showing the that one NASCAR sim game. Actually, the racing sim game. Gran Turismo. There's going to be a movie. Those pancakes look good, y'all, from IHOP. Someone go get me some pancakes from IHOP. All you can eat pancakes for $5.
From August 7th.
So 3 cars, multiple laps down. The 24, William Byron. on pit road being worked on. Chase Elliott out of the race. Kyle Busch out of the race. Alex Bowman is posted as your current leader with Denny Hamlin in second. Eric Jones in third. Kevin Harvick did not pit and has moved up to 16th. Josh Berry, who's replacing him in the 4-car next year, is just behind him in the 42 of Legacy Motorsports.
To you by Geico. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you could save. And by
He doing working on a Sunday, Mr. Rhodes? What's she doing working on a Sunday? Don't you know that she is with a little baby?
Car still sits with the right side jacked up in the air. Jeff, we've just gotten the 1 to go signal.
And Alex Bowman will elect the restart. No surprise, outside row 1, Denny Hamlin will follow him. Outside row 2, outside row 3, C. Bell, Ryan Blaney, outside row 4. Inside row 1, Eric Jones. Right behind him, Tyler Reddick and Austin Dillon. Speeding penalty.
Oh, my Dodger cup is empty.
Handed out.
Moran having some issues.
It won't matter to William Byron. The clock running out on
Interviewing
him.
Chase
More on
Elliott
that in just a moment.
on USA.
Well, we're getting down to it. Stage 1 done. Alex Bowman now at the front of the field. So problems with 2 of those Hendrick Chevrolets. One of them Chase Elliott, the other William Byron.
Yeah, Byron and that team, the sense of urgency has gone away there as that damaged vehicle policy clock is going to expire. Looks like 2 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolets are going to be out early here this afternoon. Now, we just got the 1 to go, and the drivers made their choose, as Jeff pointed out.
So it looks like Byron's coming out of this race as well.
The racetrack and came back down the pit lane for another quick stop. Jason Toy.
Yeah, you got to get off cycle, Filthy Rat. You got to get off cycle, do something different than all the other teams. Try to gain an advantage.
Work a little strategy to get back to the front.
All right, we'll have to follow him. We know he's got a very, very fast race car. Geico restart coming up. Switch to Geico today and see all the ways you can save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote.
I hear him revving up.
Seeing how much you can save.
Green flag goes back in the air. Alex Bowman in a Hendrick Chevrolet leads the field.
Bowman with the advantage in the outside lane by about a car length. Christopher Bell thinking about going.
We're back underway on lap
50
50 of 200.
Eric Jones powering back to the inside for the lead.
Side by side, you got Jones downstairs. You got Bowman top side. Denny Hamlin looking on. Now Denny's going to face a challenge. He's got Tyler Reddick there. Bowman's going to run Jones all the way to the bottom in 3. Jones is going to jam it in there. Bowman jams it in even harder for the lead.
Side by
side. Look out. Josh Berry around further back. Hard and into the outside wall.
Well, Berry loses it.
And he backs the car into the outside wall in turn 4.
Boy, heavy duty.
Berry loses it.
Josh Berry up in turn number 4. Caution flag is out yet again. It is caution flag at number 4. Mike Bagley saw it unfold.
Yeah, Josh Berry was in a heavy pack of traffic towards the tail.
So let's see if Berry and Harvick end up getting into one another. This will be interesting.
That back end came around, and he was in a huge pack of traffic. It's unbelievable that no one else got collected. Only Josh backed it in. He has coasted down onto the apron. Safety crews on the scene right now to tend to Josh Berry and his wrecked race car.
Lap number 51, caution flag number 4. So as we work under the caution flag, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network.
All right, so the Josh Berry car comes to rest in the grass there. Let's take a look at it. So Berry is about 4 cars in front of Harvick. He's on the inside of the 21, and that car just snaps to the left. Harvick gets by on the outside cleanly, and it backs into the outside wall hard.
So good, people will take a taste any way they can. So when you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it, because one sip begs the question, is this the
What's up, Mark?
Take a taste and see.
4 lead changes among 4 different drivers. Martin Truex Jr. has led the most laps so far. He's led a total of 30 circuits. Ross Chastain led 16 laps. Alex Bowman has led 5 laps. Ty Gibbs led 1 single digit in the lap count. We are under our
Logano got him a mop now, don't he?
Today, we had Kyle Busch crash on lap 14 and out of the race. Chase Elliott had
4 lights away from 70, chat.
problem. He went down and into the wall. He's out of the
4
race.
lights
on lap
away
34.
from 70. It's
Then
currently
Josh
2
Berry
o'clock
brings us
here,
our
y'all.
latest
2 o'clock.
caution. Stage 1 was already concluded, and Martin Truex Jr. picked up the stage win.
And that voice belongs to
Got 148 laps to go.
Jeff Striegel on pit road. You've got Steve Post and Jason Toy. Dave Moody is in turn number 2.
All right, the day is going to be done for the
Bagley
42
is in turn 3, and
as
looking
Barry is
down at
out.
the accident scene, Josh Berry, Mike, indeed has or has not climbed from his car.
Indeed, Jeff, he has climbed from his car. Safety crews were immediately on the scene, and right now they are towing that
Probably
car
not Jay
to the
Ramos
NASCAR Cup
until it
Series
comes out
garage.
on,
Josh
on
hopped
regular
out, walked over
TV.
to the care truck, and he is headed back to the care center.
He is indeed. That gives us 53 laps complete, 147 to go. Pit lane will open up this time by should any driver choose to come in, Jeff. I wouldn't be surprised. We're seeing a lot of different strategies, but that being said, obviously there's been most of these drivers.
Oh,
in
they're
field
off.
made
They're done.
solid pit
They're done,
stops that I
Sheila.
think are where they
24
need to
team
be.
is
Right
done.
now we have 2 different strategies playing out. Those that pitted on lap
I believe,
47
anyway.
at the end of the stage, others that pitted on lap 37, and here on lap number 53, it would appear that everybody will stay on the racetrack.
Things are heating up this summer for the
All
entire
right, commercial
two-day
break
racing
on
team.
MRN. Butterfly likes that 42 car. It's kind of disappointing there that he's out, because that would have been pretty cool to see him and Harvick race with him going into the 4 car next year. We're kind of stuck at the 52 number, y'all. The only one doing anything with this NASCAR stuff is CeeLo at this point. Freeman struggling, Goose struggling. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we're just over 1,000 views, y'all. Just over 1,000 views. 66 likes. Not let me put a commercial in, so I'm not sure what's up there. Looks like if you put like the game or race audio in, they shut off your ability to insert commercials. Yeah, there's still some demolition derbies out there around the country, David. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is Ascot Park in LA closed? Is it closed?
Welcome back to Michigan International Speedway. 55 laps complete next time by, and we'll be under the green flag.
Yeah, it won't let me,
Next
Sheila.
time by.
Won't let me.
Alex Bowman, Eric Jones, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, and Denny Hamlin before the choose. That is your top 5 as we get ready for a Geico restart presented by Geico. Switch to Geico today to see all the ways.
Yeah, I'm going to do the game on
save.
Thursday,
It's
Glenn.
easy.
I'm going to do the Thursday
Simply
night
go to
game.
Geico.com to get a rate quote, and
Vikings are on this coming Thursday. It'll be our first Viking stream of the year.
Alex Bowman, the race leader, the first to choose, opts for the outside.
All right, Sheila,
lane.
they are pushing the
Eric Jones
24
was second. He
down
went
pit
straight to the
road.
bottom of the racetrack. He feels like his Allegiant Airlines Chevrolet is pretty sporty on the bottom of the racetrack.
Well, he did it the last restart, and he hung with Alex Bowman and appeared as though he was ready to take the lead when Josh Berry spun and slammed the wall over in turn number 4. So we'll see.
Closed. Wow, bummer.
Bowman has led a grand total of
Have they already
7.
built something on it, Dab Dave, or do you know?
At 30, but right now
I would imagine they probably already built something there as well.
With fuel on lap number 54. Ross Chastain.
Your phone died, Hiking Combat?
Ty Gibbs has led a grand total of 1 lap. Getting ready to go back under the green flag on lap number 55.
Here they come into the Geico restart zone, and the green flag goes back in the air. Alex Bowman gets a great restart.
Bobby's having a rough day at the ballpark, y'all. Rough day for that Boston game. Boston got killed, and they've got their second baseman in pitching.
So it's Bowman with the lead. Jones now and Christopher Bell side by side. See Bell takes second, crosses over to the bottom.
And right now, Christopher Bell is lined up right behind race leader Alex Bowman. 2-car breakaway now as they
Mund is with the Browns.
Quickly caught up to by Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin, and now Tyler Reddick is a part of the mix.
And we got a battle for the lead, but that battle is over. Christopher Bell took a look to the inside on Bowman.
That ally car of Bowman has some racing stripes on it this week, y'all.
Jones, then comes Denny Hamlin.
See, Bell's going to have to play a little defense this time around because Eric Jones is all over his back bumper in turn 1. Denny Hamlin will go a step further up the ladder, try and get after Eric Jones.
Red, white, and blue racing stripes on the hood of that Ally Chevrolet.
For the lead of the backstretch, watching the battle for the
Ooh, here comes Chastain. Logano just got into the back of somebody. Almendinger, hard. They keep going, though.
He is, but he's not going to have the room he's going to need to exit corner. He's going to have to fall back in line and ride the tire tracks of Denny Hamlin. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth fly by.
It's Bowman, Bell, Jones, your top 3. We're on lap 12 of 75 in stage 2. 57 of 200 in the race. 144 laps to go.
Really no idea. I'd have to go back and watch it. Just was kind of in the midst of a 3 wide there and just got loose, and that was it. So just tough deal. Obviously wanted to run all the laps today was the main goal.
Can you take us through here what your weekend has been like here when it comes to all the emotions of
59 in the chat?
Jump right in.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on in a tough situation. So had a really good race yesterday in the Xfinity car. Obviously hate that we didn't get to run all the laps today, but that's just part of it and part of learning. And
we turn this up a little
we get
bit.
ready for the next one.
All right, there you go. Josh Berry making his way out.
Some big names out early. They all drive Chevrolet Camaros.
Yeah, I just don't know if Barry's my dude,
Barry
y'all.
out,
I don't know if he's
Byron
my
out,
dude
and
for next
Chase
year.
Elliott out before we even get to lap number 60.
As we've got 61 to go here in stage number 2
Yeah,
of this
the
race.
Circle K here
This
locally,
is,
y'all, they have
all kinds of things going on.
a monster NASCAR hood on display.
Lead, great
I wish I could get that mug. It's sick looking. It would look cool in the tavern.
Right now inside the top 5. It's Tyler
But my buddy that works there said he already has dibs on it. But it's a full-size hood with the monster logo on it. I believe it's a composite, though. I don't think it's real steel.
And that
It's
will
sure
put
a
him
cool
in position
piece.
number 4. Reddick is in 5th. You got Blaney right there in 6th. And trying to become a part of the fray is Austin Cindric, who right now runs in position number 7.
And that 2 car is looking really, really good, is it not, Mike? Here they come off of turn number 4. We're watching that 2 car as it makes its way back to the line. We're also watching that driver at the front of the field, and that's Alex Bowman, and he's got company, Dave.
Christopher Bell has reeled him in just about a car length or so behind. Another 2 car lengths back to Eric Jones in 3rd. Denny Hamlin 5 more back in 4th, then 2 to Tyler Reddick.
Denny Hamlin taking a higher line out of 2. That's going to allow Reddick to shut down maybe about a half car length worth of separation. But once he hits the backstretch,
All right, Butterfly just dropped the Discord link, y'all. Bowman's lead is 0.2 of a second over Bell, 0.5 over Jones.
Martin Truex Jr., who was the fast car early on, had a pit stop snafu, has been able to rally back, and he's going to pick up another spot. He'll go to the inside of Ross Chastain.
Harvick way back there, way back there.
Boy, MTJ's got a really
26.
fast race car. He has just bypassed Ross.
All right, they're interviewing William Byron on USA.
As they race the backstretch.
Martin Truex Jr. rolling right now as he tries to make his way back to the front. Speaking of up front, here's Denny Hamlin to the inside of Eric Jones and give Denny position number 3.
And Eric Jones right there trying to do the crossover. That won't work. Let's hear from William Byron. He has just come from the care center.
Yeah, William walks out here, Liberty University uniform on here. Are you wearing it out? Not in a race car. What happened?
Yeah, just got loose trying to get stage points there.
Get you, y'all.
You know, we were dicing it up. Didn't have the best restart, so we were gaining spots back. Just trying too hard. So just regroup and try to just get a good couple weeks before the playoffs. But just a mistake. Just made a mistake. Got trying hard and got loose.
All right, there you go, William Byron walking out of the care center.
That's been the thing we've heard from Kyle
Leap
Busch.
overrated.
The same, trying hard, but just getting
Leap
a
when you're
little
dead.
bit too loose. As
One like away
we
from
continue
70,
under the green
chat.
flag, 57 laps to go. Stage
All right, interview
number
with
2.
Barry
So let's take a
on
look at
USA.
the leaderboard, brought to you by Skechers. Skechers, the comfort and fit specialist. Try Skechers Relaxed Fit, Wide Fit, Stretch Fit, Arch Fit, and many more.
Alex Bowman leads, but only by inches. See Bell right there. He'll stalk him back into turn number 3. He'll dial up the low lane. Good battle, Alex Hayden among the top 2 as they make their way off 4.
Yeah, here's Christopher Bell again trying to get alongside. He'll do so. Drag race down the front side of Michigan International.
I don't know if he's
will be led by Christopher Bell.
he's exciting
Alex
enough for
Bowman
me,
will rally
y'all.
back top side.
Denny Hamlin right
I
there
just
looking
don't know.
for scraps as well. Bell's got the advantage, and he spins. He spins up the banking. Oh, what a move by Denny Hamlin to avoid as Christopher Bell pounds the safer barrier on the outside of turn number 2. Third car this afternoon to just lose the rear end and back it into the fence, this time battling for the lead.
Wow, Bell, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, is jacked up.
5 times already. And
Harvick's,
we are only on
Harvick's
lap number 64.
strategy today might be just keep going, and everyone will wreck out in front of him.
Car by itself around into the wall.
I think this goes back to practice and qualifying. If you listen to our broadcast yesterday, every driver we talked to said how much of a fine line they're on the ragged edge at 190 plus miles per hour. I think with the aerodynamics that come into play running around these cars, you get
Bell's got that car going. He might be able to keep it running. But he hit a ton in the back there.
Spot. William Byron just said the same thing.
He was trying to make a pass on the leader.
To get to the inside of a car, and the air goes off of the inside car's trunk lid, and you lose all that downforce off the back of the car, and the car spins around. So that is a tough break. We're seeing it with a lot of great drivers.
Where they pack the air. They come from the bottom post, man. They slide up to the car working to the outside, and that inside car snaps around. You're right.
The Bowman car has the Detroit Pistons logo on it this week.
Wall up the wall. The back end is really crunched in on this.
The Andy Holguin, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud.
Get this car back together. There is a lot of damage to the rear of the car, back around the right rear of the car as well. And actually, as the crew goes over now, you see them, they hustle over, and then the pace is slowed a little bit.
You know, even with as hard as that car hit, this is part of the problem, y'all. Look how hard this car hits and how very little damage is done to the vehicle's body.
Back that thing in the fence. And I just think it goes to show you guys, that's Christopher Bell. That's drivers like Chase Elliott and
I mean, they are literally out there in Hot Wheels
it just goes to show how on the edge they are.
with 4,000 RPM motors.
Over that edge.
Lap 66, pit lane is open, and every one of the lead lap cars look like they are coming in. Alex Bowman is getting routine service. The race leader got the Detroit Pistons NBA team on board. Right side tires only for Alex Bowman. Martin Truex Jr. with Sunoco fuel only. He will drag race towards Steve
Willie
Post.
Bowen checking in, rooting for Team Chevrolet. A lot of his Team Chevy cars are out of this race.
It's on. Alex Bowman over Martin Truex Jr., Tyler Reddick, Ryan
4 Chevys and 1 Ford look to be out of this race.
All getting pit service here. There goes Ross Chastain and Chase Briscoe. Ryan Preece was in getting Sunoco racing.
They're out there driving tanks. No lie, bro.
And just a lot
Race off pit road. Bowman, Truex, Reddick, Blaney, Larson, Dillon, Cindric, Keselowski, LaJoie, Suarez. Nobody took more than 2.
Looking for, and they got it. They come out second behind Alex Bowman, but they are inside the top 5 where they were running earlier this afternoon.
A commercial break. 1 like away from 70. Josh Bilicki currently showing as the leader of this race. You had trouble sleeping after those 2 energy drinks? It took me a while to get to sleep. It was about, I think I finally was out at about 6. Man, I was having complicated dreams, y'all. Just absolutely multi-level dreams. Can't even remember what it was about, but I remember they were very complex. Few hours of sleep. You like that number 8 paint scheme? Yeah, it had a short run today, Willie. Short run. He was out. He was the first car out of the race. He's currently 53 laps down, and we're on lap 67. His dreams are because you were going too fast after the energy drinks.
Nothing. So we'll go with some heavy overcast, guys, and live with it and be happy about it. We've just gotten the 1 to go signal. The drivers, Jeff, get the opportunity to choose.
Probably your grandmother, Butterfly. It's probably your grandmother.
Bowman, no surprise, will start outside row 1. Behind him,
he's like, girl, get me out of this bathroom.
Outside row 3 will be Ryan Blaney. Inside row 1, taking advantage
come
of the
haunt your
opportunity,
ass.
Tyler Reddick. Restarting behind him, Kyle Larson and Austin Cindric. Let's go back and revisit why time and time again we see the drivers with the opportunity to go ahead and take the outside lane.
Because that's where.
So here's a cat story, Butterfly.
Engine, especially if you can hang on.
Thor came from a high school.
Turn number 2, then you're going to be an absolute rocket
person that I knew, right?
Away. So outside lane has been the preferred lane here on restarts
when he was born,
here in the Cup
she had a
Series,
cat
Xfinity
named
Series,
Nez.
and the ARCA Menard Series. Now,
so this dog Nez, ever since Thor was born, and that for 16 years before that, always dealt with a ton of animals at the bacon house. Well, Nez passed away this week, so Thor's first kitten relative passed away this week. Nez the cat in Orange County.
It will be lap 69 in the Firekeepers Casino 400 right here at Michigan. We do have some heavy cloud cover rolling in. We'll give you an update on that. Hopefully we just stay racing. That's what everybody wants to see as the green flag gets ready to go back.
That was in essence, I guess, Thor's cat brother.
Bowman on the
What's
outside,
up, Roland Olsen?
Big push from behind, and Martin Truex Jr. down on the inside, headed to 1 is Tyler Reddick.
Reddick's getting a little bit of a shove in his own right. That coming from Kyle Larson. For the moment, it's enough to get Reddick away with the lead. Bowman will cross over, fall in on his back bumper. Larson and Truex the top 4.
They round out the top 4 as they begin to stack it up from 5th on back. You got Austin Cindric and Ryan Blaney. Eric Jones trying to make some moves on the inside. So is Corey LaJoie. He'll dive it in deep and slide under Blaney at 3.
Good hard racing here as they go way up the racetrack. Blaney nearly collects the wall, keeps his foot in it.
So Reddick has that multicolor car out in front there.
Corey LaJoie took Ryan Blaney all the way to the wall. Looks like Blaney
got his first lead of the race, I believe.
For him, he's still stuck out there in that 3-wide lane, just trying to stop the bleeding as he drifts back toward the
Melinda?
the top 20.
5-car
Ned's going to come visit me.
For second, Alex Bowman has it. Kyle Larson's trying to take it away. Truex trying to take it away from Larson. Truex first out of line off the end of the backstretch. He'll dial up the low lane. Oh, that car is strong. Power move for Truex. Puts him in spot number 3.
That is a bold effort, and he made it look easy. Truex back to third. He's got about 5 car lengths to run down Alex Bowman. Larson is now behind him, so Truex is in the middle of a Hendrick Motorsports sandwich.
And that 5 car length deficit quickly becomes 4, now 3, now 2. Martin Truex Jr. glued to that yellow line. And
around lap 26 of 75 in stage 2, 72 of 200 in the race, 130 laps to go in the Firekeepers Casino 400 from Michigan International Raceway.
Boy, good battle for second up off turn number 4. They are side by side. Now all of this is going on behind the race leader, Tyler Reddick. We're going to add a third player to the mix. Here comes Kyle Larson.
Larson is right there. He'll go to the outside of Martin Truex Jr. That's the battle for the third spot. It may actually be a battle for second as well because they're all over the back bumper of Bowman.
Bowman, though, will lead turn 2 with that second spot. Larson around Truex for third. Truex falls to fourth, and Truex is actually losing ground to Larson. He'll lose about 2, now 3 car lengths. He'll nestle in the fourth spot, and behind them, they are side by side for big.
They are indeed as they race hard for that spot. Back there, Eric Jones is there. Austin Cindric,
yeah, Space Center.
Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski, but this is going to be Eric Jones alongside Austin Cindric.
What's going on today.
Still wheel to wheel for the number 5 spot.
Eric Jones has had a strong run this afternoon for Legacy Motor Club, and it just got 1 spot better. He drives deep into 1, takes the spot away from Cindric. Move Eric
the likes
Jones
is Melinda Leverett.
Caution on the speedway for the 6th time, and unfortunately,
here we go
it is
again.
rain falling here at the Michigan International Speedway over in turns 1 and 2. They say, Dave, what's the latest out there?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a rain beginning to fall here. It started out as a bit of a mist. It's gotten a little bit harder here. They looked things over.
Rain back on the track, y'all.
Decided to err on the side of caution a little too much to keep them under the green flag.
And that is why I told you, Alex, never go to Dave. He's always got the bad news over there, and I'm kidding you, obviously, as you know, Dave. We were looking at the sky. We were looking at the radar. We could see that just all of a sudden we're getting a couple of pop-ups. Again, they're small, but they carry rain, and rain's a bad thing, Alex Hayden. We just can't race in it.
If they lose this track, y'all, if they lose this track again, I'm going to end the stream.
Right now with the mist and the sprinkle over there in turn 1 and 2, unfortunately, we are going to have to sit here under the caution flag just to make sure this doesn't get any worse. It is our 6th caution flag of the race. Currently, the top 10 are Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones.
We are not at the halfway point.
Brad Keselowski, 8th, Austin Dillon, 9th, Bubba Wallace, and 10th is Denny Hamlin.
And Alex, why we work under this weather delay, although it's a caution, so it's really not a delay other than the fact that we just can't race in it, gives us an opportunity to bring in a good friend with a network, Vice President of Marketing and Sports Online Gaming for Firekeepers Casino. His name is Jim Wise. Welcome back. How are you, Jim?
Listen, fellas, this is one of my favorite parts of the whole week, is to get just a couple of minutes and come up and chat with you guys and your team and just watch all the things that are going on. So it's a pleasure to be with you.
You know, I think there's no better place to start than with the major announcement that you and the team here, Joe Fowler and everybody here affiliated with Michigan, you, Jim.
He won't win because we're not at halfway mark.
You announced something big earlier this week.
We announced that we are extending our contract.
The Dodgers don't start until 4, Sheila, until 4.
Package, and we're just thrilled with it because
so 3:30.
Michigan Speedway gives great service and creates just memorable events, and that's what Trips to Firekeepers are all about. We give awesome service. And
give me about an hour to chill.
Great events as well. So we're such a great match, and we love this. So I hear about sponsors may want to come and go. Well,
they're bringing the cars down pit road.
We're going to be in Michigan and keeping this race rolling here for many years to come.
Alex and I were talking exactly about that. The partners within NASCAR, how important you are. By the way, quick update, Jim, and it's not what we want to give as far as an update. The cars have been brought off the racetrack onto pit road. They will shut them down. Now, Alex, they are not scrambling to cover those cars up. Again, It's just that light rain, but enough to shut us down for a minute.
It is. The other thing I try to tend to look at when we have situations like this, or what are the race fans doing? Because, you know,
in the words of Luke Bryant, rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey, and whiskey makes my girl a little frisky.
Some are going to
rain,
get rid of a bottle of water and
it is a
go
good
buy another one.
thing.
But for the most part, everybody is staying in their seats, so that tells us some pretty good news.
Yeah, you know, and we're talking with Jim Wise, who's with Firekeepers Casino just down the road here on I-94. I said it was 30 minutes. It might be 45 minutes, give or take. It's not that far down the road. Awards and recognition, that is something that you guys thrive on there at the casino. Talk a little bit about that.
We are Michigan's not only casino, but only venue that has a 4-diamond hotel, and we have 2 towers and 443 hotel rooms. We also have a 4-diamond restaurant, so our fine dining restaurant, Neebe. And we don't run around and chase awards, but when people come in and analyze and grade us, we do very well. So
we are under race condition red.
For all they do to make Neebe one of just Michigan's great dining experiences. And you know what? If you don't like to gamble, that's fine. You know what? We have concerts. We've got great restaurants. We got a beautiful hotel. We're there for all kinds of different guests.
And Alex, you and I were just talking. We may have plans now in October.
Yes.
The Red Rocker Sammy Hagar will be at, and I just found out in my ear that I'm not in town. We're going to Homestead that weekend, so you're going to have to bring the Red Rocker back.
I'll talk to him.
But that is just the tip of the iceberg when you go to Firekeepers Casino. You mentioned the restaurants, but the world-class entertainment always bubbles to the top.
Yeah, Jeff Dunham was just there this Thursday. Show was sold out, and our next 4 shows are all sold out. Pat Benatar is coming, then Styx, then Teresa Caputo.
Hit me with your best shot.
Circle, and they're all gone, and some great shows.
Hit me with your best shot.
Check out if they're heading through Michigan,
fire away.
Indiana, Ohio, or Illinois. Take a look at firekeeperscasino.com and see what we have going on.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. You know, if you're coming to this fall, you're coming up to a Spartan game, a Wolverine game, a Western Michigan Broncos game, wherever you happen to be in the state of Michigan, Firekeepers Casino is right there. It's sharp, it's well run, it is clean, and I think before we let you go, we also need to talk about the thousands of slots, and I think you're over 70 some odd table games now. There truly is something for everybody, and like you said, whether you want to play slots or not, you've got them covered.
You know, we run a couple of what we call MSPT, Mid-States Poker Tournaments, hand-dealt poker tournaments.
All your loving, all your hugs and kisses, too.
It was about $2.5 million, and that's the biggest ones outside of Vegas. So, you know what? People are storming our poker room as well for things like that. So we've got a ton of diverse, interesting events. We're right on I-94, the main thoroughfare, running from pretty much Indiana through Wisconsin. So we're a great place to come and visit. We love doing this. Being with you guys is a great treat, and you know what? Now we just need to work on Mother Nature, see if she can help us out a little bit.
Yeah, I think she will. We're just going to have to give it time, Jim. And Alex, did you think of Mike Bagley instantly when he talked about the poker tournaments?
Yeah.
All right, the covers are going on the cars, y'all, so there's going to be an extended delay.
Yeah, there he is.
There you go.
You want a chair, Mike?
We'll get you hooked up, Mike.
My man.
All right, Jim. What else can you tell us about Firekeepers before we have to give folks an update on what's going on here?
We just celebrated last Friday our 14th year. So, you know, the casino started with just a physical casino building, opened up 14 years ago. About 5 years in, they added 1 hotel. About 3 years ago, we added a second hotel tower, added more restaurants, added a little more gaming, a new high-limit gaming area. We're always putting money into the building. We're going to go back starting in January and upgrade all the Tower 1 hotel rooms to match the Tower 2 that we just did a couple of years back.
Kathleen, we're currently on lap 77 under red track conditions.
So we're blessed that our tribe, the Nottawasepi Huron Band of the Potawatomi, gives us what we need to do to run this casino to be the best casino throughout this region, and we're proud to do so.
Vice President of Marketing and Sports Online Gaming, Jim Wise. And Jim, I'll just say this. What a great relationship you, Firekeepers Casino, have not only with NASCAR, but even more importantly right here in your home state of Michigan with the Michigan International Speedway. Thank you for what you do.
We love MIS, and I'll look forward now, 365 days or so. I'll get a chance maybe to come back and chat with you again.
We'll look forward to it as well. Thank you, Jim. All right, it is a weather delay. That's official. Tyler Reddick under the weather delay is out front, and it's Alex Bowman, Larson, Truex, and Eric Jones.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Susan has always...
All right. I believe Michigan has lights, Kathleen, I believe. We'll hit up CeeLo and see if he's staying on.
Let's go ahead and address it right now. You know, you can see there's not a lot of anger here. A little bit of grinning and smiling, maybe a sarcastic smile, but it's important to have these conversations, get it over with.
The reason why the discussion was taking place there, Corley joined the 7, Ryan Blaney the 12.
And Corey gets loose and just a little contact right there. Blaney was just annoyed by that, you know. Very similar to what we've seen multiple times today, though. But, you know, we don't really understand why, but today.
So what we'll do, Chad, is I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the link in the chat for CeeLo's channel because I'm going to shut this bad boy down. I'm going to put the link. All right, so there's the link for CeeLo, chat. I'm going to turn this puppy off. And I'll be back for Dodger Padres this evening. All right, thank you to everyone that hung out with me today. This might be the last NASCAR stream of the year on the channel. And we'll be back for more events here on Valhalla Sports Talk. Thank you to the members, the mods, the subscribers. Valhalla Sports Talk is off the air.